A Jack Daniels swilling, pizza-eating, dog-hating, whore-using, cocaine-abusing, hairy-backed, big-belly blowhard from New Jersey. The fat little bastard known as Artie Lang!
Are we ready? And you're on. Dan does this crazy thing where, like, I saw Flippin do it too, in all honesty, with Dan. But he usually just did it with chicks around, but maybe you're trying to impress Anthony, I don't know.
Yes.
Well, he does this thing where, like, you know, you have to say test.
We were talking a book deal right before you came out.
Well, yeah. By the way, a lot going on with that. Well, me and Anthony. The great thing is I'm working with Anthony Bose again who's here. I'm going to write a third book. And Anthony, what's up?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Excited to be back, dude. Let's do it again.
Apparently, one of our agents was said. I'll just come right out and say it. There was me and Anthony have written two books that are, by the way, Paul Marcy here as well.
Hey, how's it going?
Paul already making me stop a story. Paul already becoming the comedy speed bump.
Oh.
Have comedy. I'm kidding, of course. He's the direct opposite of what Paul is. He's the comedy igniter.
The Hillary Gottfried.
I'll tease this too because I am. Yeah, who is telling her? She gets louder and louder. Someone is telling Hillary Clinton to yell because I think that gets more black votes. I think. I bet that I just figured it out. That's why.
Hamburger.
That's why exactly. Some racist like old Karl Rove type from Georgia is going. Listen, the coloreds are responding to yelling. We have data. We have the data. Charlene, bring me that data. Wiggle your ass over here, Charlene, and bring me that data. Now listen here. Watch this. Look at this. We have this now. We have an electronic thing. We put microdes on a colored's head. We shaved them and gave him a Michael Jordan. And we put electrodes. So this is real numbers we have here, very directly to the vein. And whenever you yell louder, he responds. He gets a big smile, and it's like, I'll vote for Hillary. It almost says it. His head both open right here. He said, it feels like my head wants them both open. So the guy has his Klan outfit on for the meeting. Like, we're late for a meeting. It's a long story. Yeah. So as you can see here, we'll put the electrodes on. What was that guy's name, by the way? What was his name? That's not important. So it's not important. That doesn't matter. Did we give his wife what she wanted? Yeah. We had those. We had fake Hummels. That's fine. Okay. I don't know where someone pulled fake Hummels out of their ass. So we put the electrodes on his head, much like they're doing over there in the Republicans. And whenever you yell, they go absolutely batshit. It is like the Hillary Comedy Jam. So listen, scream. Scream right over those millennial fags that are in the front row. Just scream right over them. We don't care about those assholes.
And say hamburger at the end.
Just say hamburger. We are gonna get you less taxes. Hamburger. That's why Mars is here. That's why he's here. Now I'm going to do what you just heard for an hour. We promise that nobody will be forgotten. That's right. We don't need insults, Mr. Trump. We need results. Hamburger. If I were John Kerry and I was married to Teresa Hines, I wouldn't work. If I was John Kerry, they said, you want to be president? I'd be like, shit. My bitch owned ketchup. Every time a nigga order French fry. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Hamburger. Whenever she's bombing, she just says hamburger. Now listen, if you say something I don't like, just say hamburger. Here's a tape of a guy we found. He's an enormous black man. Watch this. He tells old jokes. They're bombing. He keeps saying hamburger for some reason. Now we don't know. We can't get in their heads. We've tried, but at some point, 5 minutes into the act, they buy into it. and they're waiting. They wanted him to say hamburger, and it kills. By the way, this is a true story. There's a guy named
It's a
Hamburger.
real guy.
There's a comic.
guy named Hamburger.
Okay, named Hamburger. And after he tells a joke, and the joke has nothing to do with hamburgers, has nothing to do with red meat, eating, food products, nothing. It could, but it doesn't have to. It's a joke.
He's just quoting
And
himself.
it basically goes like the joke will be an old joke. It'll be like, priest and rabbi walking down the street. They see a 10-year-old boy. Priest says, "You want to fuck him?" Rabbi goes, "Out of what?" Okay, laugh, dies down. Hamburger. Hamburger. I just spilled some all over the console, and Dan looked at him. He's all mad, so I'm just going to apply the hamburger thing to everything in life. I'm trying to get him to say.
But you got to shout it, as Hillary Gottfried
Oh,
proved.
damn. Dan, I know this was your application for mortuary school. Hamburger! Wait a minute. Oh, that cold water tastes good. Oh, I am such a gutter sniper. So that's the premise.
Wow.
So Paul, again, Paul comes up with a brilliant idea. I'm trying to think of because yesterday I debuted the Hillary. No, this is a real observation. Hillary Clinton is yelling.
Yeah, she is.
Did you notice it?
I did.
Yeah,
She's like a robot.
She's
like,
right,
about
and
to
she's
short
doing
out.
the thumb thing that they do when they talk. Like, by the way, she's doing a version of Bill Clinton with the
Yeah.
thumb. The first time I saw Daryl do an impression of Bill Clinton, man, he did the biting the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
Oh God, that was fucking funny. He really nailed him, like with the thumb thing.
And even the smile afterwards for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Oh, the
say
no
something-
reason con artist smile. Yeah. Yeah. People thought he was a good con artist. He was like his tell was so obvious.
Yeah.
His tell was like a big like. Bill Clinton was a guy who tries to fuck your wife at a party. That's all he
Right.
was, and succeeds 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So she's doing a version of that.
Yeah.
And she's got pantsuits on and Star Trek yellow shirts. She's pale and looks very odd. Like if you saw her in the house at 4 o'clock in the morning and you weren't sure who she was, you'd scream. Like in that red thing, like it'd be almost like a Twilight Zone.
And people-
What is that? It's a ghost of Hillary Clinton.
And they get mad if you comment on her appearance, like you're not supposed to say anything
Well,
because
you're
she's a
body
woman.
judging. You're body judging.
Well, but her face.
Margaret Cho calls it body judging.
All we did is talk about how hot the girls were on Fox News or whatever,
Oh, they are
and then
smoking.
and then you put Hillary Clinton's face up there,
Right.
Like,
Ooh.
what are you looking for?
Oh, I know. Bill O'Reilly, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
His initials are B.O., and that's what it looks like. Apparently, by the way, Dan and I found something out. I guess stuff gets back to people. More people listen to this than I know. I basically did like a 5-minute rap on the podcast when I was doing it alone about why people might think that guy Greg Gutfeld's funny on Fox. Like Fox television, I guess they're trying to be funny. Like I think they think the liberals have all the comedians because it's showbiz, and show usually liberal. I know a lot of comics who aren't liberal at all, so I think they're trying to hire funny people so they'll have entertainment like showbiz does. And so they're trying to get guys who clearly are supposed to be just funny. Well, a combination of the two. That's the brilliant part about it. Like a good episode of Growing Pains. They teach you a lesson at the end. And Greg Gutfeld's one of those guys. He has his own show. The other one's that Waters guy. It's just, and they're like, oh my God. They're so unfunny. Like it's just so, it's terrible. And you got Dennis Miller. Okay, one of the best comics ever. He became real right-wing after 9/11, very vocal about it. His politics were sort of vague before. You thought he leaned to the left, but SNL guy in those days. But, came out very much to the right after a lot of right-wing opinions after 9/11, which a lot of people did. And he was vocal about it, got a job on Fox, and he's on Bill O'Reilly almost every night. And he's one of the best comics ever. So I understand that affiliation, but they got him at a time in his life when he's very rich and he doesn't want to leave his mansion in Santa Barbara. Right. He's kind of mailing it in. He does a 30-second spot on Bill O'Reilly from his house on Skype. He's funnier than the whole network is for a week in 5 seconds. But that's not going to be the lead of the charge because he's not going to come there, which I don't blame him. So you got Gutfeld, who's there all the time, apparently. Some of those guys are there all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Like Brett Baer has that same hair, and look, it's 4 o'clock in the morning or 9 a.m., and he's there. Or noon. Brett, we'll go to Brett Baer on this. Hi, thank you so much. Brett, why are you here? Well, I just stand by for 20.
But are they all trying to do political stuff? Because that's what I hate. Is
Well, no, it's all political. No, they never divert from political. It's political humor, absolutely.
But
It's trying to be Jon Stewart.
But the punchline is always, "What am I, a liberal?"
And then Hamburger.
It's never like an action.
What am I, a liberal? Hamburger. Yeah, exactly. What smug? They're trying to do this. They make fun of the liberals for being smug, which is true. And then they're smug. They want the Greg Gutfeld show to be like their Daily Show. That's
right.
Everything they want it to be. When they don't realize Bill O'Reilly is funny, and he doesn't realize it. When he's yelling at people. Bill O'Reilly has a bit in the beginning where he talks about talking points, and it took me 6 times watching it to realize he's talking points. Like, talking points is Bill O'Reilly. Yeah. And he talks about talking points, which is Bill O'Reilly, in the third person. And I think he just assumes people know that. Like, he goes, talking points thinks that Donald Trump should not calm down his rhetoric about Muslims. But talking points also warns that talking points was right last year when talking points said. And I'm going, who's talking points? And then he goes, well, the name of the segment's talking points, but is he saying that segment can talk? And then you realize he's talking points.
Yeah, it's the Ricky Henderson of talking points.
And there's some poli-sci major from NYU in the corner writing all the talking point stuff. That kid's talking points.
Yeah.
But that kid signed away his life because Bill O'Reilly's also talking. Bill O'Reilly berating like the guy who writes all those books with him. Like he wrote a word of those books.
Yeah.
No way.
Killing Reagan, a tough way, I think.
He gives him a cut of the doormat sales.
When does he write them? In the car ride, the town car ride over to Fox? I wrote Killing Reagan over to Fox at the red light at 38th and 7th. He probably screams at that guy.
You wrote a couple of those, right? Anthony?
I haven't written my books. Everyone knows that. They're my stories, but Christ. I got to get to a gig. So, the first book I was doing so much heroin. We were in my house down the shore, which is rather big, and Anthony's in the next room, and I'm doing heroin in the other room, and I text him from 4 feet away, technically, and I go, all right, just that story about me shitting my pants in the cab, just try to write that up, and I'll be out.
No, I'll meet you upstairs in the man cave.
I'll meet you in another room,
another floor, and then he was late. Didn't show up.
You kidding I was me? Late. I was in my other room. I was late from the other room. Because I went down the balcony because I'm watching a Puerto Rican drug dealer put drugs underneath the plant outside.
That was your cat. That's your Cat Williams story.
The GPS. Nice. I go, yo, man, what's a lagoon? He texted me. I have it. I have a text from him. What's a lagoon? I said, you heard of a bay? Yeah. You heard of an ocean? Yo, fuck you, man. I go, well, I feel I have to talk like that. I go, well, a lagoon's like the next thing. Like the next thing's like maybe a puddle, I guess. Like
a creek.
What's a lagoon?
But that's your Cat Williams story. You were late
Cat Williams.
You were late for a meeting in your own in a different room.
There's not even late. The Cat Williams story. Cat Williams was a roast master for Comedy Central roast, and a couple of the guys writing had to meet him at his house. He never showed up at a meeting at his house. They get there at 8 o'clock and he's not there. He's late. He never showed. It was at his house.
That's amazing.
So Bill O'Reilly's yelling at the NYU kid in the corner because he's talking points. Listen, dude, no one knows your face. I'm Bill. They know my face. I'm talking points. I know you're talking points, but I'm really talking points. This is embarrassing. I'm not saying this. Work on this. Kid's crying.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Bob Cratchit. I'll write it myself and I'll do it live. He said, I'll write it myself. He called writing this, coming back from a break was writing. He improvised back to the factor. So, those books, he pumps out one a month, man. The money is just rolling in. But he's funny without knowing it.
Yeah.
And, so I've been goofing on some of it, and there's a whole regime of guys there. Well, the joke I put it on Twitter too. The guy Waters, you know who I'm talking about? Waters, the Waters World guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm Waters. This is my world. Not really working. And when the Flint thing came out, I said, Fox and Flint, Michigan have something in common. They both have waters that make people nauseous. And I said, I'm terrible with money. I opened up a water park in Flint, Michigan 2 years ago. I've killed 4,000 kids. You ever get in? A couple of kids were stuck in the pipe, and another kid full of lead hit them.
Oh, shit. Wet Wild and Legionnaire's disease. That's what it's called.
Hamburger. As the kid is dead going into the pool, it just says hamburger on my big outside. Look, Mom, your kid's dead, but hamburger. Oh, the Hillary hamburger. Hamburger!
It looks like they've tightened her face.
Yeah, well, and then she got David Spade's hair from Joe Dirt. She's got Sulu's shirt from Star Trek, a big ass, and like those, female gym teacher pants, orthopedic shoes, Joe Dirt hair, a pale face, screaming with her thumb. That's a scary bitch.
Yeah.
And barking. The barking. Bill Clinton had to look at her barking and go, now you do it. Monica barked. Paula barked. They all barked. Except now this bitch barked.
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Hamburger.
It's better when he does it.
He looks like Bill Clinton is so drained. It looks like they drained all the cum out of him.
Oh.
He looks wrinkled. Like he looks like a paper towel that was full of cum, and like 4 million whores drained him. He's now drained all the cum out of him. Like he's a wrinkled paper towel.
It's almost as bad as that Letterman picture. Did you see that?
Whoa.
Letterman with the beard and jogging.
Yeah. He's just bald now. He's
Letterman
like
is
bald.
going. Basically, Letterman is saying to the world, "Look, I'm depressed. The only reason I'm not eating a fucking wrong end of a Magnum right now is my kid." What is he? He's so depressed.
Yeah, he looks like that Burt's Bees guy. You ever see that? Burt Bees.
Oh,
He's
totally.
He's got this fucking crazy beard.
Yeah.
It's like dark eyes. You don't really see his pupils.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
I think if he accidentally was changing the channels, and he accidentally saw Trevor Noah telling a joke, he'd kill himself.
Oh, man.
An underwear model is the new host of The Daily Show. By the way, don't hear much about that. Not lighting
Nothing.
Not lighting the world on fire.
No. Slate did a pretty...
Who?
Did an article.
What Slate? It's like a
the-
website?
yeah, political one. Like pretty
What
much
did it say?
pulling him up. Just that he laughs at his own jokes because they're not funny. No one else
Because
is
someone
laughing.
has to.
Yeah, it was pretty takedown.
That's like a show you could fall asleep to now, like the way he talks.
It used to be my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like it's hard to follow the success John had. So they really went the other way. I think I think that's Jon Stewart solidifying that the guy after him is not going to be funny.
Right.
You think there's so many comics who could use a job who I know he thinks is funny, and that's completely ignoring them.
Well, the weird thing is there's so many people that aren't American. Like John Oliver, you got Trevor Noah, and then you got James Corden. Like you've got
Okay, wait a minute. Is James Corden the guy after
that replaced Craig Ferguson, who wasn't American either.
Okay,
so it's weird.
James Corden is he married, James Corden?
Believe so.
I believe
To a woman, right?
Yes.
Again.
A bearded woman.
What are we doing? What are we doing? If that guy, listen, I don't have any proof of this. But if that guy doesn't have a cock in his mouth every night on the way home on Hollywood Boulevard, then I'm off on everything.
Hamburger.
Another hamburger. There's another tweet. There's a tweet I sent out that I thought was going to get me kicked out of show business, but he had Elton John on the show.
Yeah.
in the
And
car.
he does okay. He
Those
sings
things are
in the car.
I know.
Karaoke in the fucking car. He does, and they have the nerve to ruin one of my favorite Elton John songs, Amarina, which the opening of Dog Day Afternoon is Amarina. That's why I love it so much. And I'm Still Standing Elton John, which I love. So they're singing it, and they have a still photograph on the internet of them singing, and they both have their mouths open wide. And I tweeted out 2 cock garage. Elton John, James Corden sings Elton John's latest hit, 2 cock garage. I was like, with the visual together. He's not funny on any level. He's not a funny person. James Corden hosts a comedy show on a network like the job Steve Allen used to have. Phil Silvers, Jackie Gleason, Letterman, Johnny Carson. A man who's not funny has one of those jobs.
But it's like the male view. Like they just have everyone as
all
a panel, and they
Yeah.
can't, they don't do jokes. They just ask people what they're promoting.
It's all effeminate.
Yeah.
It's all effeminate. Like we're afraid to raise young boys now. We're afraid we're going to make them all rapists or something if they see a guy spit or act like a man. Tony Siragusa just got fired from Fox Sports because he's too much of a guy.
Right.
It's a fucking football game. And I'm all for fucking broads going in there and talking on the side, Bonnie Bernstein, fine. But guess what? Every once in a while you want to hear from a guy who actually tackled somebody in an NFL game. And Tony was great on the air.
Yeah, he was.
Real affable and funny as hell. And then he would say the smart, Dan, what are you doing with the media coverage? What was somebody called?
Yes.
Who was it?
Tony Burton.
What about?
He asked if I was with you.
Why?
I don't know. I texted him back. That I was. And that we were doing the podcast.
That you're with me?
Yes.
What's what he wants now? Preoccupied now. My other agent. There's shit going on right now. Forget about it. Agents basically, I got off on a not Anthony. I'm not speaking for Anthony's agent, but and not my manager either. But I'm getting involved with people who are trying to blow the fucking deal. Like they're against me and Anthony writing a book or something. It happened the last time.
I know.
Yeah.
You got 2 bestsellers.
2 bestsellers. Yeah, thank you.
We had to get rid
by
of
the way,
the last guy.
The sarcasm is dripping off of that. Bit.
What?
Sorry for being successful. Kidding. All right.
I own both of them.
I thank you. We get it. You want your money back? No, but Anthony.
Just for the audiobook.
I mean, compared to like other comics who write books, Anthony, we've had extraordinary success. One was a #1 and both got on paperback. The other one debuted number 12. Wasn't even like the last one. 25 it was 12, and I wasn't on Stern at that point. I hire a guy. Okay, here's what happens. I'll pull the curtain back a little on the book business for Steve Torelli and Dr. Mix-A-Place.
What about Gunner?
And Gunner left. I haven't heard from Gunner.
No.
Yeah, he talked today.
By
did he?
the way, Dan Filato trivia. Do you know what Dan's middle name is? It's
Blackhawk?
Everything about Dan
Dominic?
that I don't know on the surface gets better and better. Dan, tell him what your middle name is.
Johan.
No way. That's awesome.
Thank you, Anthony. Bastard.
I love it.
And
did
that's
they
what
arrive
Stacey
at that?
Pressman's cat is named Johan. Right?
Yes. Yes. Right? Or is it? Wait. No,
yeah,
her cat is Snuggles.
Yeah, but I thought
right?
Mike Nick calls him Snuggles as like a nickname. He also says Johan. Why did he say Johan? What's Tony?
Yeah.
Burton?
Okay. It's
This is
an important one,
Okay,
actually.
yeah, it's an important one.
And on
I may have an opening for him to do the Tonight Show tomorrow. Is he available as far as you know? Yeah, I'll do the Tonight Show. Yeah, I'm saying no to the Tonight Show. I have a meeting actually with Johan.
I thought it was going to be James Corden.
Yeah, I mean,
We have to
again,
re-edit.
Jimmy Fallon. Why do you think Jimmy Fallon is killing? Because he's a talented guy who's in amongst nobody. I mean, James Corden doesn't have the talent Jimmy has in his left foot. He's beating guys. It's very easy for Fallon to beat these guys. Jimmy's a talented, experienced performer.
But that's great. Are you excited?
He has a show. Well, I've been on it a bunch of times. I'm over it. As you pointed out, I'm successful.
You can tell this.
And your passive aggressive way. I may do the. I was going to pay you for this as well. I may do the Hamburger bit with the. You show a 2-hour documentary first before I go out on the Tonight Show on who Hamburger is. People get the joke. Tonight, Hamburger. Listen, this happens to me all the time. Saying a prayer or something, you accidentally say the N-word. That happen to you? No, never. Really? Okay. My yoga mantra has the N-word in it. Yours doesn't? Really? Okay. Yeah, that never happens to us up north. It's pretty common down here, no? Yeah, during my confession, the priest said it. No? Right. So if you piss him off, just say hamburger. I swear. What did she said something really stupid? We're gonna put a lot of coal miners out of work. Remember she said
a couple weeks ago.
She was trying to do we're gonna do something that's such a great alternative.
Clean energy.
You're right.
Yeah.
So she said, we're going to put coal miners out of work. We're going to put coal miners, which you all are. The car that you took here tonight was paid for because you're coal miners. We're going to put all of you out of work. Crickets. Hamburger. And they just hear motherfucker. People throwing chairs like Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy. Oh, watch some of those old Def Comedy jams. Every guy that got famous, Bernie Mac does something. Bernie Mac kills so hard.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my God. D.L. Hughley, his Def Comedy jam. The audience, they start throwing chairs. And D.L. Hughley, there's a guy in the front row with thick glasses on, and he's sort of there's a pause, and he's trying to figure out the fuck with the crowd. And he goes, "Look at you, motherfucker! Look at them glasses, man. They're thick. It looks like you're looking through an aquarium." You just see coleslaw flying.
But that Bernie Mac one was the.
Oh, he's got that. First one, he's got that all the black kids in the '80s had an outfit like this jean jacket, but red, like a jean pants, like all acid washed, a jean jacket. And red, like jean.
Yeah. But it's spray painted on
spray
a
painted,
face
right,
or something. But he's like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After every joke. Because I think the guy before him bombed or something. Wasn't that the story?
How about Bernie Mac's act? I saw the original Kings of Comedy, actually with David Herman, the kid who played the other Nazi guard in Schindler's Lost.
Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton from Office Space. Yeah. Funny motherfucker. We saw it together. We left the homo seat. And we saw the Kings of Comedy. And Bernie Mac, I didn't know who he was. And his acting, oh, God, talk about politically incorrect. He's talking about his 3 cousins, his 3 nephews. My fucking brother had 3 kids. Barely can speak. 3 kids, 3 sons, 8, 6, and 4. And that 4-year-old little faggot, he a little homosexual. He go down, I call the 4-year-old down, look in the refrigerator at 3 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck you doing? He goes, I looking for some cookie. Imagine this uptight white motherfuckers at the comic strip. We shouldn't say chick, say woman. Don't say chick, say woman. He's calling his 4-year-old nephew a faggot. I'm a fucking little faggot, little homosexual. We looking for some cookie. Said your ass right back to your loser father. But daddy ain't got no house. Exactly. Cedric the Entertainer does the bit where I love black people. Where I do, I really do. They know it. I said that they say they're stuff cooler than us. My friend Orlando was a vegan. And I wasn't. I asked him, if there was red meat. I said when I got in the car, I said, "Is there steak at this restaurant?" Real nerdy like. That's how I answered the question. Proper grammar. And he goes, "Yeah." Then we pick up Chub Rock, the rapper, who I hung out with a couple of times. He gets in the car. He was living at the Chelsea Hotel, which was the coolest place to live. He gets in the car, says hi to me, and the same exact question. But here's how Chub Rock said it: "Yo, they got any food for carnivores up on this motherfucker?" Yeah.
Chub Rock.
How could I pull that off? That's the coolest thing ever.
It is.
Chub Rock could spit, as they say in the business. Treat him right. So he had people with him, his friends. This is how he introduced me to him. This is what he said. "This is my Detroit crew. That's Pokey R. It's Pokey R. This Artie. Artie, what up? What up? It's my man Flulu. Flulu. I said, why is he Flulu? He goes, had the flu all the time. Well, kid, I hate to say this, I'm the white version or the erotic version of that. I catch the flu easily, Artie. Which, you know what, that joke I just said reminds me of a Garry Shandling joke, which is appropriate because he died today. And he's one of the funniest guys for a couple of reasons. Mainly TV shows he created and produced. The first one on Showtime was an innovative show, It's Garry Shandling Show.
Yeah.
But that was just an opening act for him hitting a absolute grand slam home run with the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah, the best.
And Rip Torn, giving him another life, so fucking funny, as his producer, named Artie.
That's where Hey Now came from.
And of course, Jeffrey Tambor as Hank, and that's his Here's Johnny as Hey Now. And that clip we played all the time on Howard with Garry Shandling going, "Oh, what's with Hey Now?" Hank, well, what do you mean? Well, why do you say that all the time? He goes, "I don't know. It's just something I said as a kid and stuck." He goes, "You feel people like when you say that?" He goes, why do you say that all the time? He goes, "Well, I don't know." He goes, "Do you ever not say it?" He goes, "Well," "I say hey by itself sometimes. And I say now by itself. And then sometimes I just say hey now." But it was one of those shows where, if you're in show business, now Anthony, as a writer, you're a creative person, you watch that show, right? Did you like? Yeah.
Amazing.
But that's the thing. And Paul, of course, a comic, and Dan knows funny people. And you're funny. What did Tony say?
Yeah, he'll get back to you.
Okay. I got the pressure of the Tonight Show. Now what shit actress am I following this time, by the way? When the 12:30 Fallon show, I was able to got to the first guest. That would be the first guest. And the Tonight Show, look, I'm not bitching. I like being on the Tonight Show. By the way, this will be my 6th time on the Tonight Show.
Nice.
That is the most times anyone's ever been on. Right?
Yes.
We've changed
At
the
5,
website.
you were tied.
No. Tied who?
No, you beat Timberlake at 5. She told me.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Hamburger.
You just said Timberlake, like now he's Springsteen
Or Bono.
You just beat Tim.
Chocolate.
You just beat Timbo. You said Timberlake, like, oh, dude, you're so. You said Timberlake, like he's your Springsteen now.
No, it's not my Springsteen.
That's what it sounded like.
JT.
Yeah, Timberlake. Oh, God. There's a whole generation. Carson Daly has that show that's on at 3 a.m. I've been on it. I like Carson. He's like, but there's a lot of young kids who say without any irony or joking, "I'm doing Carson tonight." And, of course, Johnny Carson was...
Right. But he's literally out of show business. Like, that show was a live audience, then it was a taped thing, and now it's like... He does it like from his back porch. He's like,
really?
He has a show on the NBC network that is technically out of show business.
He's just like, "Hey, my wife's cooking dinner right now, but you're gonna watch." He's
I know.
Doesn't even show.
Really? I did it. I think it's good for him. He's getting a good bank, and he does the Today Show, whatever. And there's no pressure. There's no pressure because if the ratings are 1, they go, "Well, that's what we expected."
Right.
He was doing a week in New York, and I went there, and I for some reason I had a posse with me. I rolled in there like Lil Wayne or something.
Chubb Rock.
Yeah,
your
Chubb
Detroit
Rock.
crew.
Treat them right. They got the food for carnivals.
Flulu.
Here's Flulu. That's Pokia.
Allergy Artie.
This is leukemia. Flu leukemia.
Diabetic Dean.
Yeah. Cancer Carry. This is a full-blown AIDS Alan. By the way, I am starting to, when I don't want to do something now, I'm at the, that Larry David thing where to get out of doing something you don't want to do, you make up something, and then eventually, like stuff I wouldn't do because I was afraid of religion. Like you never say, to get out of something, you never say, like, a parent died or something because it might happen.
Yeah.
I'm over that now. To get out of stuff, but I got to remember what I said to people because, like, I didn't go to my Dan. What are you taking now? Yeah. Is it Tony?
Yes.
Just tell me to take. What's it about?
He said, "Okay."
It's out of the corner of my eye. I can't stop.
There's no opening for tomorrow.
Can you believe him? Can you believe him?
Thanks, regardless.
Text back. Say Tony. Send out an email to other agents. I have an opening for an agent. No. That's the life of a comic. I thought I had my 6th Tonight Show appearance, and now the Hillary Hamburger thing will be irrelevant.
Now we have to find out who's got that spot instead of Artie.
Yeah, it
and
better not be
sabotage.
Timberlake. Timberlake, yeah.
You fucking Guy Fieri.
This is what I hear. Fieri. This is what I see. I'm trying to tell a story, and Dan's like, "This is my producer." With the phone, like your wires are going all over the fucking place. I can't do this. I'm trying to put your kid through college.
Johann Jr.
Yeah, the
Johann.
I can't. When he said Johann, I said I can't believe it.
There's
Are
already
there many Johans in the family? Or is
No,
this
it
like,
was
Johann, they got the food for carnivore. Yeah, the food for carnivore. Pokia, full blown AIDS, Alan. No, so anyway, so the thing is, like, I told, I to get out of a wedding, I told someone. What did I say? No, I had a meeting with my manager today, Rick Dorfman, and I'll just say another thing. I told him that Don Rickles' daughter's in town, and he's bringing Don Rickles to the apartment, so I have to wait. Because I knew he wouldn't believe anything else. I was like, I used a bunch of things already. So he thinks Don Rickles is coming in. I said, that's the only thing he won't push back on. Because I didn't want to talk to Rick Dorfman. And the next thing is, like, I'm going to tell him I have full-blown AIDS.
there's already a Johann Filato on Twitter.
Yeah. So what's the where
It was.
I think it's awesome.
It was an Italian-German deal. The German half of our family thought that the Italians were getting too much, and so
Filato.
yeah. So that's why.
So they came heavy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Loaded up on the
I'm surprised it wasn't Adolf.
Yeah.
Well, that's the perfect name for a
They didn't want you
chocolatier,
to
though.
get beaten up.
Johann.
Johann. I would totally hot chocolate. I mean, if he was anything you're whipping up that's confectionery in the kitchen.
All right, I'm checking the Tonight Show to see who's booked for tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man.
What else would you buy from a Johann besides chocolate?
Yeah, that is bread, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe a guide through the Alps.
Yeah. All right, bicycle tour.
Definitely. Sure, through the Swiss cheese fields. I guess I'm going more serious.
You're going all food.
I know. It's about that time.
Johann Filato is on Twitter.
I just saw the gout Garry. Lupus Lenny.
This is the Affliction crew.
Yo, it's my affliction crew.
Everyone's sick, yo.
Clubfoot Kenny.
That's Ben Bath and Beyonce. Yeah, just checking his email.
No, I was just seeing who there's only 2 guests
All
tomorrow
right, nobody cares. What guest tomorrow? For
on
what?
the Tonight Show.
But no, that doesn't have anything to do with me right now. You know what? I have a headache, Artie. I'm sorry. I gotta open this thing. I got my hand. Look how dry my hands are. Look at that.
Damn, dude.
It's look at that. Look how much I aged. That's from diabetes and the weather. Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest died today.
I know.
The fucking rapper. For my age, diabetes, complications.
What's the
I bet his
scenario?
hands look like that. I told him, I said, apparently you took that garbage to St. Elsewhere. Does anyone get that? You get that reference?
Yes.
What song is that in?
Like,
A lot of their songs.
Left my
I
wallet. next to
I
the
got
door.
their songs on my.
You have one song.
iTunes?
It's on the one song on your iTunes.
Come on.
Take the garbage to St. Elsewhere. We oughta.
Come on, Johann.
Take that garbage to St.
I
Elsewhere.
can't
We're on
remember.
award
Now I'm
tour.
under pressure.
Yeah.
Award tour.
Pressure. I should know that.
Pressure. Fucking other.
You got the Rolling Stone guy.
The lowest rated podcast. You're in my kitchen. Pressure. The pressure would have been on the Tonight Show. Tony Byrne, that's unbelievable. In the middle of what timing? That's how you know someone has bad timing in life. Middle of the podcast, he'd ask me a bullshit question. Dan's like, I don't know.
But would you ever not do the Tonight Show on a
Well, only if
Friday?
Only if I had full-blown AIDS. I wanted to do a story about a guy like that who makes up excuses like that, like in some scene in a movie, and he forgets that he told his buddy he can't go to a wedding because he had full-blown AIDS, and he sees the guy and his wife like 2 months later, and the wife's like, "God, you look good." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And no one ever says that to him. So I look good. I only look good if someone thinks I have full-blown AIDS. So I'm like, "Thanks." And I totally forgot what you're talking about. She goes, "Well, yeah." So you're all right now? I go, "Yeah." "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, you couldn't make it to the wedding." And then in his head, he realized, I must have said I had the flu. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm better than." She goes, "Really?" "Yeah." I said that cleared up. It cleared up. What happened? Not like Advil.
Bed rest.
Benadryl. Like Advil. Yeah, you ever heard of AZT Advil?
So that's instead of DNP, that's FBA in the lineup. Full blown AIDS.
I told you the other show I'm pitching. It's Eazy in Heaven, right? Eazy the rapper, right? Okay, and he does has a rap group. Same exact acronym, NWA, but the last word is AIDS. Netflix is mulling it over. And so now I'm doing Fife Dog, and same. It's NWD. That's a much larger group. Oh, I love podcasts.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Yeah, take the drink of water.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the middle. I bomb with a joke. I'm drinking. Wait. Hamburger. I'll take jobs away from your children. Hamburger. Wait, this one's cheeseburger. So I was doing. So last night on the Race Wars podcast, I did like for an hour. They let me do it. I'd still be doing it if they didn't physically stop me. I did a bunch of hers, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Because she sounds like Gilbert doing the aristocrats joke. And then Bill said to Monica, fuck me in my ass with a cigar. And he fucked his ass and came on the cigar and rang the cum out of the cigar into his mouth and then shit it out with cum diarrhea in the face of the maid of the Oval Office. And she shat it out with blood and shit and blood and cum all over the vice president. And they said, what do you call yourself? The First Family? And we said, no, the aristocrat. Then Bill's cock got infected from scraping the asshole of Monica Lewinsky. That was sandpaper rough, and then Paula Jones's nose was used as a dildo in the fucking asshole of George W. Bush, who happened to stop by because he left something in the Oval Office in the corner. He and his wife, who looks like George Washington, came in, and they fucked her ass with a fucking Lincoln bedroom picture of Karl Rove's glasses. Fuck me shit cum and the red cum shit. And I said, do you call yourself politicians? And they said, no, we're the aristocrats. I was at that roast when Gilbert told that joke. I was a comedian before Gilbert. Thank God I did not have to follow. He was last. I was 10th out of 11. I've told that story. I followed Dick Gregory, basically giving a human rights speech.
Great spot.
Yeah, exactly. He gets up, Hefner's crying. They're crying. The 7 girlfriends of Hefner don't know why they're crying. They stand up. The one girl's like, why are we standing? My heels broke. And everybody's crying and hugging. Standing ovation. Jimmy Breslin from the Daily News is crying. They sit down. It dies down. Jimmy Kimmel gets up, and this is what happens. Live television. I'm in a tuxedo. Hilton Grand Ballroom. After that applause dies down, people are crying. Hefner wiping the tears from his eyes. Jimmy Kimmel goes, you might know our next performer from Rhinoceros Week on the Discovery Channel, Artie Lang. Yeah, that really got him. So now Gilbert's basically like, I'm next to Gilbert. I pass by Gilbert. He goes, yeah, you're basically setting me up. I'm on television. Okay, but I'll tell you what. I handed it to Hefner and his 7 dumb girls. I needed a joke. My first line was an older joke, which you tell it, based on an older joke. You tell it roast, though, and it was a perfect time to use it. The first thing I said after that died down, I said, Hef, I smell pussy. Did you burp? Yeah. And he laughed. He barreled over laughing. So everyone else did, and it just I was fine. I got them back. And I some worked, some didn't. But the great thing about those roasts is there was more than enough to cut together a set on TV where it looked amazing. It looked like, Howard played the next morning, which is always pressure. Like being on Howard, I realized because I was a regular on Conan before I got on Howard, and as long as you felt you did well on Conan, your job was done. There was no pressure. But when you're on Howard, that review is coming the next morning. He plays the spot. He stops you after each joke. And if he's mad at you, he'll make it sound like you suck. He has that ability. He takes callers who know they'll get on if they mock you. And it is just, and the way he does it, that passive aggressive thing, like the Wizard of Oz, like he uses the callers, like he'll make himself look good. Like I thought Artie was good, but apparently Anthony in Queens, yeah, he sucked. Really? Well, okay. And next guy, stuttering John, just doing every voice in the back.
Well, that was my theory, that there was never any email. Like it was just. They never
no,
gave
it was
away.
Fred. It was Fred. Well, you know what's funny about the Fred thing with the movie Dirty Work was, especially after I got on the show, like younger kids to this day still, it really is a little bit of a cult thing, Dirty Work.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because it's Farley's last movie, and kids love that movie. And I have a standard line of like, actually Apatow put this in the pilot called Artie Lang on HBO because we improvised it. He says to me, Dirty Work's one of my favorite movies, and I say, you really should rent The Deer Hunter. You know, so, but Norm, every time I saw Norm, he goes, how come every email thinks it sucks? I go, well, Fred just picks the ones, I guess.
Yeah.
So 4 years into getting bashed all the time, a guy called for something else, and at the end he tagged it. He went, oh, by the way, you know, Howard, you should know, a lot of us love Dirty Work. It's such a great, you know, the cult thing. Howard goes, really, we haven't heard that yet. So he puts it down, commercial break. Fred pulls me over and goes, yeah, you know, I get a ton of email. They love that movie.
They just never.
I go, can you like one through, or a ton of email? So I called Norm and he goes, motherfucker. Of course, there's all the negative ones to go through. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He's always like, I thought you were good, but apparently all the emails are saying Artie sucked. I don't know.
Yeah. And he can do it with anybody, you know. It's like he'll spin anything. Yeah, he's like a mafia don, just lying, telling you, no, there's no fireworks here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a. You know what else is a cult one? Is that Norm CD, the ridiculous one?
Yeah.
That you guys did the sketches. Remember?
Right. Farley, him and Farley do the first two gay guys.
Right.
I play a doctor in that. That all completely improvised.
Yeah.
And it took longer. Norm had stand-up at colleges combined with like radio sketches, which were fun to do because no one really did that anymore. Like the Sandler albums.
Yeah, yeah. He only did one. It was only one old stand-up with that Star Search thing.
There's only one? Okay,
Yeah.
That's the only stand-up been on the whole thing?
Everything.
He's
everything
at
is
Georgetown
sketch.
with that. Okay, everyone's a sketch. I didn't know that.
And yours, the one that's a big hit is the one. It's about the first gay country singer, and you guys are in the sound booth, and the guy's just singing about like come drunk.
The name of the song is Manhole Inspector.
Yeah. They're like, is he gay? We're not sure.
Like working on like he's our biggest. Like we're two like redneck engineers, and we're like, man, we're talking about like it's Waylon Jennings or something. They're like, man, it's gonna be such an honor, man. And Waylon Jennings coming or whatever. I forget what your name is. Steve Higgins.
Stan Hooper, I think.
Okay, Stan Hooper. Yeah. And Steve Higgins, who is the like the Ed McMahon of the Tonight Show now.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was the head writer of SNL for a long time. Funny motherfucker. He's playing the guy. He's a good performer too because he used to do it for a living, and he plays the country singer. He's playing a guitar, and the name of the song is Manhole Inspector. And we think, and me and Norm as the two engineers think it's like a guy, a man's man working on the highway all day, needs a beer and some pussy in there. So, wow, it sounds like a manly song. So he starts singing. We go, take one, you know. And he's like, you know, yeah, went on the road coming home, and you want some of that manhole. And you're like, you got the little lady on that side, but no, I need a manhole. I got to be a manhole inspector. And I'm like, okay, wait, Stan, what is that? You have the right song?
And it's always like a little. It's like come drunk, slack Joe, Texas on a Saturday night.
He's got a run where it's like you come drunk, slack John. We're doing a take, and Norm purposely didn't tell me about that, and we're doing it, and he says, "Come drunk, slack John."
Like Texas.
I laughed. Oh God, what was the line? Do you know?
He's like, but it's like a regular, like Texas on a Saturday night. It's like a regular country song,
Right.
but then it's like
Come
all
drunk,
these like
slack
gays. Like,
come drunk, slack John, HIV positive Texas on that.
and then you guys are like, do you think he's gay? And then the next line was like, he calls his mouth a pussy.
Oh my God! Oh,
You should find that one, Dan.
it's got to be on the internet. Ridiculous.
It was Chris
I
Parnell,
always know when
this
Dan
guy.
was want to do something. You don't want to look it up, right?
No, I was. I've got.
We'll
I've
wait
got
till-
to
wait
meet
till- wait till a
the
break.
other thing you wanted.
We'll wait till a
Yeah.
break. Yeah, no, you're right. Wait till the break, but it's so funny when Dan does it. Because Dan's like the most efficient guy. He'll do anything. But when he doesn't want to do something, I know the look of like, you said you can find that on the internet.
That's exactly my look. I 100% agree with. Yeah, I'm
It's like you're looking at a pussy.
I've got what you want queued up.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Or do I?
No,
go
you
to
bet. I'd rather do the thing.
Yeah.
He's got Timberlake on there. He's ready to.
Do you want Timby? All right, Timby's on the phone.
JT.
Is Tony unbelievable? It's like if I was like a new comic where you get excited, like it just pulls the rug.
Yeah.
Tonight Show. Good news. Tonight Show. No Tonight Show.
Did you want to do it or?
Yeah, sure. I love. Listen, though, Jimmy sets me up and introduces me all the time, and the band likes me to where I do very well there. And listen, the first time I did the Tonight Show, it's like, when you do a talk show, Twitter's a good gauge these days. Like in the age of Twitter, you can gauge how many people watch a talk show, how like hot it is or whatever you want to call it. Based on the first 24 hours, you'll get Twitter followers will go up. Like after this podcast, I think people actually are down following. But
We lost Torelli.
Torelli upset. It's something pulls. Torelli, a Hamburger fan, doesn't like the sarcasm. So, okay, on a real hit, if something's a hit, 200 you'll go up. 200, 300, maybe 1,000. Now, Adrian, my ex-girlfriend, who was young, pointed out something I wouldn't realize at my age. She said, well, you also, what you did unwittingly is in the punchline of your main story, you had Artie Quitter. The name of the, of your Twitter was on in it, which helps. And I said, okay, I forgot about that because you brought it up. But still, even with that, the first night I do the Tonight Show, 14,000 people added to the following.
Whoa.
I mean, that's whoa. I called Jimmy and I said, that is, I mean, dude, you got something going here. Yeah. Yeah, I love doing that show. It's like, there's always pressure stuff, but I love it. It's like, that great. It's in the fucking studio. Johnny Carson did it. You're sitting in that dressing room and you walk out and you're I did stand-up on there too. The 2 times before I did stand-up, and I was sitting where, Richard Pryor and Carlin used to do stand-up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Woody Allen on that little star, because they said it's the same proportion, same studio, same setup. Fallon wanted it that way. He wanted to stand where Carson stood for the monologue. And, so I when that happens, though, usually a few days later, they call back, so I'm probably doing it within a week.
That's great.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Got to get Hillary Gottfried in shape.
Well, believe me, it's in shape. Hillary Gottfried. The NBC won't allow that. What was I talking about? I was saying something before. I had an amazing point to make. What were we talking about right before?
Me not wanting to look something up on the computer.
Before that. We're talking about a movie?
Norm.
Dirty Work?
CD.
The Norm CD? What was I going to... all right, whatever. Okay, Meet the Creeps. Let's do this because we were talking about it before. Oh, wait, I'll explain it. You guys were talking... What were you talking about, Ann? About something on the internet? No, Ari Shaffir.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Ari Shaffir, who I want to talk about anyway. We got to plug that... Ari, real funny motherfucker. I've always liked Ari. Ari was one of those guys. I was friendly with him at the Comedy Cellar, but I just knew him from the table upstairs.
Yeah,
and he was always funny at the table. And this has happened a couple of times where a comic, but from the Comedy Cellar, but just from the table, you've never seen their act because it's a pain to go down there.
Yeah.
And there's been times where you think a guy's great for 7 years, and you see his act for the first time. I go, whoa, this guy sucks. That's rare.
You don't have to say Rich Voss.
We'll move on. I love all the Voss knows. I love him. Ari, I saw, and I loved him, and I saw him at the Comedy Store, and his act was great. And I did his show that airs April 5th, and he did a bit. This is not happening, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Comedy Central.
It's a storytelling show, and I tell the Babe story where I'm on coke. The the Man TV story. They requested that. I told it, and it's a stand-up setting where you tell stories. A great idea. 2 comics per show, so they give us time, and it's the best I've ever told that story, which is saying a lot. And in front of the crowd, it killed. So look for that April 5th, and. I'm doing another show with Ari. I got to. What else is he doing? He's doing something else.
Well, he does the storytelling show I think once a month.
Yeah, it's not that though. He's doing
themes.
another version of it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
And you wrote for the other one, right?
Well, I helped out with that one because they filmed it at Cheetah's at the strip joint in LA.
You're on account there. I got to be.
Is that where you do your work?
Yeah.
Well, we did the stand-up as strippers. Like that's where.
Nice, really.
My first line was, "I've never seen a strip club from this angle." And I got to tell you, these girls are right. You all look like losers.
Yeah.
I go, God, what do I look like from this angle at 2 a.m. drunk with a White Castle pickle on my collar? They must look at me and go, this is disgusting. They just look at me when they put their tits in my face going, I love crack cocaine. I can't believe how much I love crack cocaine. I love crack cocaine enough to put my tits in the face of this disgusting gutter snipe fuckhead who's yelling at the top of his lungs, Thurman Munson's batting. His stomach is hanging out of his fake polo shirt. Stretch marks on his stomach. And I'm putting my tits in his face. Why? Because I love crack cocaine.
Hamburger.
And who's Thurman Munson?
Who in the fuck is... Who's Thurman Munson?
He tours with Kanye.
And she forgets where she is. She's in Cleveland and goes, and fuck the Indians. Hamburger. The only place it doesn't work is at an Eagles game. She misspells Eagles. EAGNES. Hamburger. No, they still throw her off the 700 level. Her ass takes out 3 people. Look, it's George Takei flying. Everything George Takei said sounded sort of gay. I would get pancakes. He would sit right next to me. And Howard always wanted to know my breakfast order. George, I would let George give it every morning because I was eating. I said, it's funny if George just says it. So George had this fruit basket and like very proper like tea. I have pancakes, bacon, and he's got his shirt tucked in perfectly. He's putting the bacon. I just keep that in there. All right, I love you, but just eat it, please. I've got a meeting after this. So I put syrup and butter on it. I'm at work. $900,000 a year. That's what I'm doing. So I'm sorry, Dan. So I put the syrup on, and Howard goes, "So George, what is Artie eating?" Well, he's got of course, he has peanut M&Ms. And you hear me with a full mouth go, "Order for later." Of course, they're for later. And of course, he has 2 Hawaiian punches. And I gave him the lecture yesterday. About diabetes, everything he said came true, by the way. I call Artie Diabetes Artie. Really flows off the tongue. And he's eating pancakes, of course. And this is where inadvertently he wasn't kidding around or trying to exaggerate, but he sounded so gay. Howard said, Is there syrup on the pancakes? And there's a pause, and George goes, "Oh, it's dripping." And then there was pancake on his shirt and they spit it out laughing. Oh, I love George. I miss that motherfucker so much.
Yeah,
the episode where I came out to him. I could have fucked him. He was so supportive. We had hidden cameras. If I leaned in a little bit, he would have kissed me. And I said to myself, how much do I want comedy to be? How much do I love comedy? And I'm not like that guy who will sacrifice. I'm not like that chick. How much do I love crack cocaine? I didn't love comedy enough to kiss an 80-year-old Asian guy.
You were in Sacha Baron Cohen level.
Could you imagine if there were videotape of me kissing him?
Oh, wow.
Because it would have been. He goes, I want to support you. I've done this before for men. Tomorrow we're marching in that studio and you're going to say something and your life's going to begin. I'm going to introduce you to some people I know. They have parties in Van Nuys. It's a long story. Do you have any allergies? I'll need you to bring some Nair. Some some tightrope. Do you have a copy of any of the Dolomite movies? Oh, it's dripping.
You can see the oil with the musky nature.
I thought he was going to figure out it was a joke when I came out to him immediately.
I can't believe you didn't laugh.
Well, that's what I mean. I go, George, I'm gay. You know, and he goes, and he leans into me. I thought he was going to laugh. And he goes, I am here for you. And I said, okay, this is going to be the greatest radio bit of all time. And I just kept going and going. And it was he was so fucking nice to me. I saw the kind of human being he was. I mean, here's a guy who really went through this in life. And we're goofing on it. You know, just blatantly. There's a hidden gap, violating every right. Everything the Constitution is about, we're burning, basically. So I, you know, of course we had to get his permission before we aired it, which it wasn't too much of a browbeating on the air. You know, just fucking people on the phone. Well, I don't want you to do it, but apparently Eddie in Queens does, you know. You know what? I didn't think you could be a bigger fag. Let them play it. Just like, you know, what do we do? What a complete circus. And he okayed it, but that's the only time you know, a lot of the new people in the podcast might not hear some of this stuff, some of these stories, but that's the only time in the 8.5 years I worked there, I called Howard about a bit we did where we taped it after the show, and he wasn't there. And I said, I don't think we should do this. I said, I don't want to air this. I said, it's actually too offensive to me. He goes, you're offended by it. I go, yeah, I think I am. He goes, why? I goes, well, yeah, I know the guy really, he had to do this. So, like, you know, gay guys have to go through this every. I mean, you know, we joke around. I'm not someone. I don't hate anybody. I'm not. You know, I don't dislike gay people. I tell jokes about it. I don't want to be I feel bad for them really having to go through it. You know, and we're goofing on it. And I'll goof on anything, but it's George and it's a particular. And Howard got it. You know, he goes, I know. And he goes, but listen, we're doing it. He goes, if you tell George, you're fired. And he was goofing around. He goes, well, let's revisit it tomorrow. And of course we did. We went on the air. No, but he was very nice. He explained it in a way where we got away with it. I mean, he explained it like we explained how fearful we were, and we said to George, and when I got in that morning, he grabbed my arm and he goes, "Let's do this," like a soldier, like Russell Crowe in that movie where Unleash Hell, like he was with me. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna walk into the land of homosexuality, where I'm president.
Such an odd guy.
He is. And the nicest guy. So he said, okay, you can do it. And he goes, Howard says, Artie, tell him. I go, George, you know yesterday what I said? He goes, yes. He thought this was the big moment. I said, I was kidding. I'm not gay. We were kidding around. And I, you know, any other guy would have punched me, like whatever. And he went, oh, you scoundrel. Like Michael Caine in Clue.
Scoundrel.
Oh, you scoundrel. He thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. I mean, he had a sense of humor. He thought it was so fucking funny. He goes, Artie, you're just the funniest guy, but you have to be gay. That was too good of a performance.
He was hoping. He's still hoping to change it.
Well, I'm talking to cure him. Same thing. Honestly, and then what happened was the bit turned into I acted too good, so I'm gay. You know?
Right.
I said, if that's what it takes to get the pressure off, George. But yeah, does Artie have syrup on the pancakes? Oh, it's dripping. The way he holds it, dripping.
But you heard that story about him, like that. The most famous Simpson episode is like that monologue episode.
Yeah.
Monorail.
The monorail is Conan O'Brien wrote that. That's
Yeah.
me and David Herman. That's one of the things we bonded on. When we both agreed that's our favorite episode.
And Conan wanted George to be in it. And I guess George was like on the board of like public transportation in San Francisco.
He's on the board of everything in San Francisco.
And he thought it would be like degrading, so they just got Leonard Nimoy instead. That's who did it.
Right, that's right.
So he was never in it. But you always think of like
he's in something else. Like he's in later on they got him. Sam got him to do something. Sam Simon.
Yeah, but then they use Hank Azaria just did his voice.
No, I think George is really.
Oh, really?
I think he is. Yeah. Which one are you talking about?
I'm not sure, but I thought that was the story that George was so weird to work with that they just had Hank do his voice.
There's an episode called "Oh, It's Dripping." And again, but I really became friends with George Takei. We called each other all the time. We did that thing where after the show they put cameras on us wherever we went. and ruined the relationship. We went to the Guggenheim. on the air, he goes, well, Artie, I go, we'll hang out together. You know, Artie, what do you do after the show? I said I go home and sleep till the next morning. Oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. He goes, no, well, at the Guggenheim, there's a wonderful Middle Eastern architect. A woman, Iranian woman who escaped the oppression and became an architect and lashed out and built, almost as a revenge, built wonderful buildings. And I just hear me snoring. So I went. We went to the Guggenheim, and we walked, the architect where you walk up the I was out of breath by the third floor. He's 70. I got the best hot dog stand is outside the Guggenheim, by the way, in New York. If I had to vote, the dirty dog stand outside the Guggenheim on 50th is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the rich people up there even get, they get the best shit. No, nobody eats hot dogs up there.
Hot dog Artie?
Hot dog Artie. And he goes, Judge goes, do not have a Hawaiian punch. And there's a 5, you know how the design, it's a 5 thing.
Please.
So he's talking, look at the lines on this. Look at the building here. And I said, I appreciate this shit, but I said, I don't get it. I said, so you have to come to Yankee with me. We never did that. Thank God, because, oh, God, those assholes there. Hey, we'll buy a round. Artie, Jack, George, Cock. I'm not even exaggerating. It's true.
It's trippy.
It's tripping.
Hamburger. Have him say it.
It's tripping, Howard. Hamburger. After every Robin news story, Hamburger. So Meet the Creeps is again. So Ari Shaffir, I forget the tangent, but he went on. He did a show where he was years ago. He was in the Klan.
Yeah. Well, the Amazing Racist is what the sketches
Okay,
are called.
and he had a Klan outfit. I went around L.A.
He would go to like South Central and get them to help get a lighter to light the cross and like
Get a lighter. Well, this is okay. Jimmy Florentine put out about 4 or 5 CDs of something called Meet the Creeps, and he would get comedian friends to do something creepy and awkward. And Florentine was the king of that, man. I just never saw anybody, like he would ask a guy, he did this at the Brooklyn Diner one day, get an omelet, and he would ask the waiter for pepper. And he had the peppers thing, and he would never say stop. And then one time, and me and Casey were with him, and John, and we go, he's got to say stop. We couldn't even look at the guy, and Casey's fine with it. And then the guy runs out of pepper. And Casey goes, well, I want more pepper, what are we going to do? The guy goes, well, I have some in the back. He goes, well, get it. Guy went in the back, got more pepper.
Oh, God.
And then started going. So it's all stuff like that. So I told him, I said, I don't know, he was begging me to do it because I just got on Howard and I could plug it. And I said, I don't know, I used to do this thing in the late 70s and 80s. We would go into the Greenwich Village. As kids, we'd get drunk. We were like 16, walk around the village, and I would go up to the bodegas, to the Indian guys, and ask for that. Back then, they had a ton of magazines, porn magazines. And it was based on the joke of, like, there's 200 beers at this place called the Peculiar Pub on Bleecker. 200 types of beer. So we would make up a beer name that we knew they wouldn't have. We'd say, you got Glockenspiel beer? And the woman would go, no. We go, what do you have? And then she would start naming the 5th one. We'd stop her. Mm-hmm. We got Coors Light, Coors Regular, Coors Microbrew. So I would go to the guy and make up a disgusting, racist, offensive name for a magazine and make the Indian guy look for it. We go, yeah, you got nigger tits? Let me see it. Nigger tits, that booty on the hootie, got torso. Fuck my sister. No, nothing. I go, fuck, give me a Jew pussy. Jew pussy, Jew pussy. What is that? It's about a Jewish girl and their pussies. Let me see. We have nothing, no. And then there was actually a magazine called Assholes and Pussies. Actually, it was called Assholes and Pussies. And if you got it, you knew why. It was an asshole and a pussy.
I would say pussies first. Pussies and assholes.
I agree with that. I agree with it. And then I would say, well, listen, I was actually talking about the Knicks yearbook. So based on that, Florentine loved it. Years later, I'm in my early 30s on the Stern Show. I do a Meet the Creeps. Here's the audio of it. Same thing.
Yeah, how you doing, man? I'm looking for an ethnic porno magazine. It's called Jew Pussy. You have Jew Pussy? It's all Jewish girls and their pussies. You have something called Guinea Tits?
I don't have. Whatever I have everything here.
Nigger ass? No? If you check, I think you might have nigger ass. It's like a big.
What I have?
All right.
I know better than you.
You have Dick Weekly? No? No cum fuckers, huh? You do that? You have ass fuckers? Ass fuckers? It's related to, it's the same thing as Us Weekly. It's, no? I'm gonna get a torso, all right? Wow. Look at the cock on that guy, huh? See the cock on this guy?
I heard you.
You don't like cock?
That's a big sack, isn't it?
I kind of like the way his cock goes into his asshole.
Take it home.
Take it home.
You know what? I think I'm gonna get a Latin inches.
In your bag?
No, I'll take a bag for the Us Weekly. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing. What do you think of that, man? Check this out.
You like it, man?
That's a pink dick. Take care, Sparky.
You had a good idea about. You want to try to return that magazine?
That's a good idea. So I'll go up and do that one. Hey, sir, how you doing? I bought this magazine here yesterday, Latin Inches, and the guy that was here yesterday guaranteed that it would have 12-inch cocks in it. I mean, it's really kind of false advertising because, as you can see, I mean, they're big dicks, but
I'm no better than me. I don't know.
well, no, I mean, there's no reason to get nasty. Can I give it back to you? You take a refund?
Should we do one more real quick?
Yeah, nothing. Excuse me, sir. I bought this magazine, Latin Inches, here yesterday, and I want to return it.
Listen to me. I'm not selling this magazine. Don't push it.
I didn't get it here?
No, I'm not
because
buying it. I'm not
it might have
selling.
been up the block, because the person said that they guaranteed it was 16-inch cocks.
I don't have this magazine. I'm not selling. Huh?
I don't even think some of these guys are Latin. I mean, that's bullshit. Some of these guys, I think, are like Canadian or something. Look at that Latin asshole. Huh? There's an ethnic one that I'm looking for. It's called Coon Cunt. Coon Cunt. K-O-O-N-E. There's an E with like an accent over the E. Cunt. Cunt spelled the way it always. Are you gay?
Why?
I bought this Latin Inches somewhere, and it guarantees like 14-inch cocks.
Right.
And they're only like a foot tops, and I wanted to get a refund for it. I mean, if you want to take it.
Is that right?
Is that fine? Yeah, here. If you need a jizz fix, they have a whole article on jizz fixes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
You have something called shit in my twat? Twat shitting? In some countries it's twat shitting.
Please. You got your stuff?
I bought a people, but I want a twat shitting.
You bought your stuff, right?
Right.
Just go ask.
It's a magazine. It's maybe you've seen. I'll describe it to you. It's people shitting in twats. No. All right, listen. All right, fuck it. Thanks. I just realized I walked 2 city blocks like this. Yeah, so I don't know. I joined the softball league, and I had to sound like this. I'm talking to Jim. Like, hey,
Hey, it's time for a card.
That's oh, I forgot about that, man.
Twat shitting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so funny. You got to see their faces. Oh, we had a blast doing that, man. For you young kids, that's what life was like before you and your complaints. Oh, it makes me so mad. That's like listening to a good friend they used to have called comedy. You know, if you did that now, there'd be like a protest at Brown University. Okay, a bunch of us, we hired a comedian. We were told he was on the radio, whatever. A lot of us thought Howard Stern was bad for society. And then we saw America's Got Talent, and he changed his ways. We heard he was anti-stutterer, and then we heard him say a stuttering comic was inspirational to him. And, that was great. And then we Google his disgusting ex-sidekick, and we could see why he was an ex-sidekick. And he's talking about the same stuttering comic, and we thought, okay, fine. And we said, he's actually said he was very happy for the guy, and we fell for his bullshit. We fell for his rhetoric, like Trump's rhetoric. No one knows what rhetoric means, but yeah. And he said he was so happy because he saw the stuttering comic was getting work from that, and he was actually, the stuttering comic was going to do the countdown for New Year's Eve for the ball drop on CNN next year. And he was so happy about it. We thought he was really happy about it. And then, after applause, he said, yeah, he's starting now. we cried that night. We had to sit him, and we protested the fact that he's coming here, and we put red paint over his face, and then we saw something called Meet the Creeps. And we all love the song "Creep" by Radiohead, and we identified with that song. We thought maybe Artie changed his ways again, and then we asked, we put on "Meet the Creeps," and it's him asking for a magazine called "Coon Cunt." That's when we let one of his ants on fire in protest. Yeah, you'd be mad at it now. It's not your safe place. Meet the Creeps has no fucking place in your safe place. You fucking bozos. You're bozos. The people at Brown University asked for, true story, asked for time off from their schedule of exams because they protested the entire break, and it made them tired. If my kid came home saying that they wanted a break for that, and I'm paying whatever they pay at Brown University, I'm not siding with them over the college. I'm on the college's side. I'll cut you off. Go get a job. They're preparing you for the world, guys. Part of their job is to prepare. You're not going to have a safe place on the 7 train when you're going to work. Daddy, I told the homeless man I was in my safe place, and he still urinated on my bag. I went to Brown, and I'm in my safe place, sir. Yeah, well, I'm at the shelter on 7th Avenue. Give me your shoes. Dad, at my safe place, apparently they can take my shoes. Well, listen, I'm dealing with a lot. I'll deal with you. Your brother's here. At his 16th birthday, your brother heard someone say black guy instead of African American. He's crying. He heard a man refer to a woman as a chick, and he hasn't gotten out of bed. You assholes!
My safe place was my twat, and you shit in it.
What if my safe place was my twat? Could you imagine this disgusting man shitting in it?
And make a magazine.
Yeah, no, honey, I can't, and I can't even tell your brother. You know, I'm joking around, but that's kind of accurate.
Yeah,
that's kind of accurate. What you just heard was comedy. We used to have fun. This is the fun we used to have. Not running around. Of course, the joke was on the Indian guys, but what are they? They were fine. They were in their safe place. Everyone smelled like shit. Oh, it was great. Well, let's put Coon Con. Who cares? We're having fun. Eddie Murphy, talk about, I point this out, Eddie Murphy stopped doing stand-up. You know why? Because political correctness came along. I love Dice Clay goes, I wanted to take care of my kids. That's why I didn't become a big star. No, you didn't become a big star because Jean Garofalo started bitching about you on NPR with her big punchline called Rolling Her Eyes. That's Jean Garofalo's punchline, Rolling Her Eyes. She used to get $2 million deals from HBO because she rolled her eyes after she said, "You guys see the movie Speed?" And all these young executives are afraid to call her on it. And she's thinking of something so smart and funny. Should we ask her what it is? No. Respect the creative process. But I'm an asshole because I say coon cunt. Get over it, guys. It's good for society. It is. It's good that, you know, I shouldn't use the N-word in life. I get it, but this is kind of, we're having fun. We're making fun. We're joking around. Yeah, you know, when you come to see me do stand-up, guys, I don't have your life. I'm not in the cubicle at an insurance company where they check my emails. And if I say black guy, I get fired. I'm not living by them rules. I'm a disgusting slob. I got a microphone. I'm breaking those rules. So have a fucking couple of shots of wild turkey and live through me for 20 minutes.
Hamburger.
And with that, we'll take a break. All right, well, just let me know when we're ready. You don't have to wear those headsets, by the way, because it's only for if we take phone calls, which won't happen. But are we on? All right, Artie Quitter after the break. And what's his name? What's the guy's name?
Paul Marcy.
I'm kidding. I almost said Marcy, the singer. What was that? The Smiths?
The Smiths.
That's right.
No
Antics,
vegan.
Right?
Homosexual.
Is he? Yeah, right. I know homosexual, which goes with vegan too. He gets his meat elsewhere. Hackiest joke ever. So he had to leave, and he went to DC for a gig. Paul, huh? Paul's a hardworking guy, man. you gotta. He's a good comic, so he's one of those guys. He's not gonna quit because he's a really good comedian, and he can write and be funny and make a living at it. But you struggle. Funny has nothing, and talent has nothing to do with making it. Nothing. Look at me. I'm in the middle of everything, and I suck. I don't suck. I suck. But for a while I had a convertible Mercedes. I was voted most likely to not have a convertible Mercedes. But the Bozos here, and again, I love asking Anthony music questions because you realize he wrote for Rolling Stone. Vast musical knowledge, and and I don't know if we ever went through this in detail. I want to get through this, but I have you here, and you'll be back on. Like I said, we started writing the third book. I don't know if we went in vast detail about you and other times you were on. Like, give me the origin of when you realize you're a good enough writer, or you have a writing ability to where you can sort of go for being a guy who writes for Rolling Stone, or just that's a pretty big thing. When did you realize you had that talent as a writer in your life? Like a teenager, after college? When did that happen?
Well, I mean, I was a history buff.
Right. I love that too. Yeah.
So
you majored in history.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Majored in history in college, and I was the nerd who liked doing papers. I actually really liked it. Just not.
That's a sign you're a writer. That's unbelievable.
So I was always a big reader and writer like that. Rolling Stone, I had an internship for a while,
right,
and worked in a bar until they.
Wait, at Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
Well, give me the origin. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Northwestern.
Okay, so you're in Chicago. We talked about it all the time about that means you're bright. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it does. So chilly winters in Chicago.
Oof, the worst.
Yeah, and you get an internship at Rolling Stone, which is where, San Francisco?
No, here in New York.
Oh, you went to New York. Okay.
Yeah, came back. Didn't know what I was going to do. Was amidst some sort of family kind of turmoil. I basically just tried to get an internship.
Right. So typical story about successful people. You go to Chicago and end up leaving for New York again.
Yeah.
Only place that's different is Al Capone, but he was forced to come here to Chicago. Forced to Chicago, and typical New Yorker. Took it over in, I think, 30 seconds. He was running. Guy from Brooklyn. They said, Chicago's tough. Really? Tell O'Banion I want his flower shopping. Killing guys. He was the first guy to realize, look, dress them like cops on St. Valentine's Day. Everything's fine. Here's trivia. You like history? Okay.
I do.
Okay. My favorite gag ever, by the way. If you ever, I'll give this free joke to you people out there. If you're ever, it kills every time. If you're ever at a restaurant, you order, say, your appetizers or whatever, and it's taking forever, and you get mad. Don't yell. Here's the best way to get back to a way, especially if it's a college intern type. Say it's like they told you majored in history or something. You're the waiter, and it's taking forever. And you go, hey, waiter, come here. Hey, listen, you told us before you majored in history. Yeah. Well, we got a question for you, history question. Lay it on me, man. Sure. Who was president when we ordered our appetizer? Now, I've done that a million times. It's actually that joke, by the way, is in Beerly. I think, is it in Beerly? Yeah, it is. I don't expect you to remember because it's packed with jokes. It's one of the many grains of sand. Is it in? It's definitely in the movie Game Day, 17-minute short that I wrote myself. That Beerly's based on. I wrote it in between the summer in between the first and second seasons of the Norm Show. I found out the Norm Show got picked up. We just got picked up because they had nothing else. And basically, 22 episodes, $35,000 a pop. That was I talk about security. I was 31 years old, and I realized I knew for a fact in the next 8 months I was going to make $900,000 on top of my stand-up. I didn't enjoy it enough. I look back going, God, did I really sit down and go, wow, that's great? No, because I lost $950,000 that year on basketball.
More on that.
I'm kidding. I lost it on Mother Eating House. I'm kidding. That was a great investment. And I'll get it back. Actually, she'll be at my funeral, I guarantee it. But that'll be a fun time. Dan's going to sing, right, Dan? You have your song? I made the mistake of telling Dan he might be in my will, and I have a food taster here.
That's not true.
All right, the diabetes is a bad shape. Hey, I got you more Hostess cupcakes. I got a root beer float for you. Yeah, diabetes is bad. You know, I just read a big article. I know you don't read articles about medicine. I just read it, and listen, excellent news. They say root beer is good for diabetes.
That sounds so much like me, doesn't it?
So I poured. It's a pretty good impression. The voice is.
No, I mean the ordering of the.
Well, look
root
around.
beer.
Look around. Look over there. Look what's on top of that. There's enough stuff on top of the
Yeah.
fridge to I lose both feet.
Yeah, okay.
I look like BB King at the end of.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. Of course, Fife Dog, by the way, a Tribe Called Quest died of diabetes.
the funky diabetic.
Yeah, funky diabetic, and he had a roommate like Dan. Hey, Pfeiffer. Hey, Fife Dog. Listen, I know you're the Pfeiffer, and you had a good time on the Boulevard of Linden, and the routines were kicking. But listen, speaking of kicking, I've got a bowl of sugar, and with some peanut M&Ms dunked into it, and maple syrup, followed by a root beer float. It's a delicacy.
And then an espresso like in the movie The Freshman.
Yes.
Where Brando keeps on putting the sugar in.
Dan with a horrible tag to the joke. That is funny, though. That scene where he goes, well, full kick, this is Thai coffee, and Scally has a lot of kick, and so what we do is we cut it with some sugar. And you just keep going. Like, I got to put one more. Like 18. That scene, Bruno Kirby is so funny.
Oh, I know.
Sedan DeVille. Tomorrow, there'll be a car parked outside. What kind of car is this? Sedan DeVille. It's a nice car. Matthew brought it. It's like a Cadillac. Yeah. It's a type of Cadillac. Yeah, it's a type of Cadillac. That's all God. But again, you see that movie. It's just why you got to watch certain movies. You thought that was going to be the worst cheesy thing. He's always bringing back the character, the Godfather, and it's sweet and funny. It's a great. And Danny's right. The best part is watching Brando ice skate.
Yeah, that's
To
right.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah, to Tony Bennett in that big. It's the big sweater they pushed. That's what it looked like. So fucking funny. Everybody's good in it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But here's trivia: Al Capone. Where was Al Capone during the St. Valentine's Day massacre?
Florida, right?
Excellent. Yep, his mansion in West Palm Beach. He had a mansion in West Palm Beach with the singlet. Imagine all the wasps. Who's that dude? Who's that Al Capone? Back then, Al Capone was basically Don Cheadle color. That's what he was. To those wasps, he looked like Don Cheadle. He looked like Fife Dog. In the singlet, 1920s bathing suit, the enormous gut, his big cheeks with the scar, the lips with the one eyebrow, and a straw hat, big cigar, and syphilis. Oh, God.
Hero.
Oh, yeah. Listen, again, anybody here take the Alcatraz tour ever?
Yes. Yes.
Did you ever do that, Ant?
No.
Oh, my God. Talk about it. If you're a history
Is it
buff.
awesome?
The way they do it, it's amazing. They give you headsets where you listen to it. And you walk through, and they tell you as you're passing something, they have inmates' voices tell you about that was his cell. And the guy says, this is Whitey Harrison, who was there in 1938 to 1941. It's an interview with Whitey Harrison from 1972 or something. And the guys were tough over there, the bulls, and I tell you, I was in there with the Birdman guy. We all thought he was fruity. Now, there was a clock at the end. Trivia. Clock at the end of the first hallway there was 2 rows of cell, two tiers of cell.
Jesus, how can you remember that?
Clock.
I can't remember.
Well,
Amazing.
Come on, it's 2 tiers of cell. What am I remembering? Not the Pythagorean theorem. There's a clock at the end of the first corridor of cells where they all had to congregate before meals. What did they call that area? Below the clock.
I have no clue.
Got me.
Times Square. Because of the clock. The inmates go, we called that area Times Square. Yeah. Because of time, New York's, we get it. We understand. Because the clock is in the times we understand. Now they call it because all the inmates put on Disney characters and molest each other. Terrible what's happened at Times Square. But here is the most, the thing that should deter you from being incarcerated for all times. A guy in one of the cells at the end next to the window, sometimes the guards would open the window if it was a hot night. It was always chilly and it felt like air conditioning. I love San Francisco nights. I love, the weather it's always the kind of weather. You got a crisp fall day. I'm going to sleep with the windows open at night, and it's great because it's crisp. It's like that all the time at a certain point. And so you got an air conditioned cell, but the wind would hit San Francisco, which is under a mile away, in a way where the wind would kind of carry voices and whatever, and you're incarcerated, maybe for life, and you hear people in San Francisco partying and having a good time. Free people. It's like the way the guy described it. Pretty, real hardcore stuff. And it is a great tour. I recommend it. They thought about demolishing it. I hope they never do that. Anyway,
you can hear sometimes people talking in Manhattan.
Absolutely.
On Artie's deck.
Here?
Or even at nighttime. I think people are in here, and then you go outside, and there are people talking.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even down on the
No, they're not.
Here?
There are people partying and talking, and you can hear people's conversations. Only on certain nights, but you can hear.
You can hear Bill O'Reilly's talking points. No, he's right. And it's certainly the cabs and, going back and forth.
That's wild.
And I can't sleep without the sounds of the city. As a matter of fact, I have a tape for the road of a cop reading a Puerto Rican's rights. Yo, I know my rights. I can't sleep without the sounds of the city. So what I do is, if I don't have the tape, I just put the TV on real loud and hope that Sam Jackson commercial comes on at the end. He goes, "What's in your wallet?" But Sam Jackson goes, "What's your?" That says enough for me. I go right to sleep. Sounds of the city. Oh, imagine if Sam Jackson never made it. That'd be an angry guy. Guy's $1 billion. What an actor. He's good at everything. I was watching Jackie Brown the other day. How he's so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You saw Max motherfucking Cherry. Him and De Niro. De Niro's face.
You didn't think to tell me?
Oh, it's so fucking. You saw Max motherfucking Cherry. And you think, at the time, I didn't think anything. At the time, that bitch got fired. He tells him he shot Bridget Fonda. He goes, "You shot the bitch. I told you she's got to smack her. She'll shut up." And she wouldn't shut up. She was really being annoying. God damn it. And then you think he's going to be sad. And Sam Jackson goes, "You sure she did, right?" Because we don't need that bitch coming back to life and talking to the police. Anybody but that bitch. He's not sad at all. Wait, you sure she did, right? Yeah, she's dead. Seriously, she's definitely dead. How many times you shoot her? Like 3 or 4 times. Where? In the park. Where the motherfucker? Body, motherfucker. In the chest. Right. You shot 4 times in the chest. Yeah, she's dead. Definitely dead. Because we're not coming back to that fucking talking to the police. Anybody but that bitch. When they say
Isn't
cut,
there one part when he's talking about it, he's like, "Yeah, she used to be my girl, but she's like put on a bunch of weight." It's like, dude, she looks amazing.
I know.
So
oh yeah, she got that nice hair. Anyway, my favorite too is he's got the one real ghetto chick who's always passed out on the couch.
Oh, that's right.
In like Compton or something, she's on the couch and she's passed out with like a bottle of Fanta soda. And he walks in, she's passed out, and he goes, "Bitch, what is going on? I told you to clean up." She's passed out. This is some repugnant shit. Tarantino yells cut and goes, "We got it." That's good, we got it. I mean, I was being in a scene with Sam Jackson. He's done so many movies that to cash in, people, I think, might not give him the props he deserves. He's one of our best actors, Sam Jackson. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Amazing. That, and I think, Pulp Fiction, again, I think Pulp Fiction should be talked about as much as Goodfellas or The Godfather. It's not. When he talks to Ving Rhames about sending Harvey Keitel, they got the dead body and that kind of thing. Listen, motherfucker, what are you doing? You're too calm right now. I told you there's a guy's head blowing off in a suburban house. He goes, I need you to tell me you're on the motherfucker. He goes, I'm sending the wolf. You sending the wolf? Why'd you say so? That's cool in the gang, baby. That's so good. Travolta's great in it. Yeah, so I just Sounds of the City. What's in your wallet?
It's the one
What-
that says
what's-
bad motherfucker.
Yeah, right. Okay. Reach in there and get my wallet out there. Which is your wallet? It's the one that says bad motherfucker. Trivia. How much money is in the wallet? Bad. True. What's the name of the movie? Pulp Fiction trivia. How much money is in Sam Jackson's wallet?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Because he counts and gives it to him.
You're right. I don't remember.
I know.
$100?
No one should remember. Because I'm a boob. You shouldn't feel bad. You should feel normal. $1,500.
$1,500.
15. Yeah. What'd you say? 100.
I said
$1,500. I think the guy's a criminal. Got some scratch on him. That's a pretty, now between 1,500 and the other wallet, that's a pretty good score, right? Yeah. Now I want you to be cool. Shut that bitch. Tell that bitch to be cool. We all gonna be like Fonzie. What's Fonzie, honey? Cool. Fonzie's cool. Correct the mundo.
That is the best part.
Yeah,
You gonna
yeah.
Be cool, honey bunny.
You gonna be cool, honey, buddy? Tell that bitch to be cool. He's telling back like a black guy. That's how black guys talk to women. It's like he's a white guy. Tell that bitch to be cool. Be cool, anybody. All right. Black guys do know how to handle women. They just know. No, and a white guy can never do that. Got any food for carnival or something? And Sam Jackson, at that point, that's a great thing. He's a black guy. He's frustrated with a white guy. Like, what's the big deal? Will you tell a bitch to be cool? You don't do that? And what is Fonzie? Cool. Correct the mundo. I think that, I don't know what I was talking about. We go off on tangents.
Yeah.
It's sounds of the city, of course. A big piece of good news. My sister has landed in America.
Nice.
And,
Thank the Lord.
Woo, you don't look happy, unhappy. You look sad about that. You're not in her will. I thought you've been following this story the whole time, Dan. And you're like faking interest in my sister's well-being, and then I say she's in America, and
I said woo.
you look like
You did.
Woo. You are a gutter snipe. Woo. That is the flimsiest thing ever. Woo.
Maybe I'll get to see the dogs.
Yeah. Oh God, how fruity. The Brussels good hand. She's happy now. My sister was in Paris and got the last plane out of Paris right before the shit hit the Brussels fan, the Brussels Griffons. And are they from Brussels?
Yes.
Oh wow, I just figured that out. So Kathy Griffin is over there with Jan, so she's a Brussels Griffon right now. I love it. You know what I want to see. They call. I got a great nickname for Anderson Cooper's boyfriend. An Anderson Cooper pooper stooper. How great is that?
Wow.
I'm going to pitch it to him. I'm going to stand outside CNN with a megaphone. Anderson, Artie Lang, Howard Stern Show. It's been a while, but Howard Stern Show, real quick. Artie quit her podcast. I couldn't get the domain name. It's a long story.
Well, just text your buddy Don Lemon and then see.
Don Lemon, first of all, blew me off. And I was the one. He should be the one happy I want to go out with him. I mean, so we wanted to go party. He was going to bring his partner. I was going to bring a whore, who's a chick. And he was like, well, let's go out. I said, and look, dude, you're the one who he blows me off, and I that was weird, that relationship. Because he interviewed me. Don Lemon, the black guy.
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper, the black gay guy.
Yeah.
There's a white gay guy and a black gay guy. And that's CNN. And Anderson Cooper is from Vanderbilt. I don't know how many people know that. His mother's Gloria Vanderbilt. You knew that, right?
I did know that.
Yeah, he's got has good genes and bad genes. Remember those genes? You might be you're a little younger than us, right? And
A little bit.
yeah. So do you remember Gloria Vanderbilt genes?
I do.
Oh, her face. Oof. What does she look like now? Oh my God, she must look like Karl Rove. Yeah, so Don Lemon's like, he blows me off. He goes, and he's all excited to me. He goes, big fan, sir. Hey, we should hang out. I'm like, great. Gives me his number. I text him back. I'll do when we hanging out. It'd be great for my profile. I want to take pictures because I'll look less homophobic. It'll be great.
Did he get back to you?
No, that's the problem. No.
Ghosted you.
And I felt like telling him, dude, just like as early as 25 years ago, a white man agreeing to go to the same restaurant as a black gay man is a major thing. And now we're acting, just a quarter of a century later. Like you're doing me a favor. Fuck you. Do you know the explanation I have to give to my father? Black and gay. There wasn't anything else to do that night. Of course. He seems like a good guy. It was a good interview he gave. And I would hang out with him. But Anderson Cooper Pooper Stooper, I mean, that's a t-shirt.
It's pretty good.
Especially with the Swedish guy. Like, Anderson Cooper Pooper Stooper. What do you do? I'm Sven. He defender Huder. I'm a Sven. I'm the Anderson Cooper Pooper Stooper. I'm a skier. Very good looking. Look at the bone structure. And I can go by the CNN. Let me tell you. I admit I was looking for I was a gold digging gutter snipe. My family lost all their money in the Bernie Madoffs. I come here to kill him, but they incarcerate him first. I come here to kill his filthy gutter snipe wife. She go away. So I'm in New York, and I put on the news Anderson Cooper, and I'm immediately attracted. I'm bisexual. And I've dated men for money. I'm a bit of a gold digger. Now listen, that's why I still quote the great Kanye West. I'm not saying that Sven is a gold digger, but you don't see me. You can fill in the rest. You don't see me. I'm not saying Sven is a gold digger, but you don't see Sven hanging out with any broke on the hee-hees. You don't see me hanging out with any Brussels Griffons. Look at Dan. Like, you had to take a look. Dan, I'm seeing Crest toothpaste.
Oh.
Dan's looking at me like. It was a picture of Anderson Cooper. Like you don't have that immediately up on your phone. Like he pretended it took. He pretended it took long.
It's like we need more toothpaste.
Yeah,
Just
something else. His teeth is white for something else. Look at that. Is that it? This is Dan's Playboy.
Shut up.
Look at Dan. You got this immediately. He drew a
Anderson
mustache.
looks like
Jennifer
Johnny
Lopez.
Winter.
What'd you say?
He looks like Johnny Winter right now. Like with short
He
hair.
looks like Johnny Winter.
I think all the flashes went off at once or something.
Yes.
Extremely white.
Well, that's not from age. That's from he didn't wash out after I get excited on his head. I said, I'm going to come make you look like Steve Martin. Who was the guy? Who's the guy? I mean, look at how they're holding hands. It's like trying to get. It looks like you can't get in the club. Who's the guy, Dan? Who's his boyfriend? Like he doesn't know.
Benjamin.
Yeah, he knows every detail.
Masani.
Yeah, man. You know everything about him. He pretends not to know gay stuff. He's like, I don't know when One Direction's next concert is. I might be at the Garden Wednesday. That's one erection, I'll tell you that. Now he looks very assertive. That's me. That's Sven. I darken my hair to mix in with the Bronx. And I pitch it to him. I say, listen, I know I'm attracted, but this is perfect for press. I'm the Anderson Cooper Pooper Stooper. Because you're Anderson Cooper, correct? You have a pooper, which is unfortunately God gave us one option with our sexuality. Listen, if you could we don't want to go where the shit come, but we have to. If you gave Anderson a pussy, I'd fuck the shit out of it. And instead I fucked the shit out of the asshole. But Anderson's very clean. Anderson, after a good fucking, gets right in there. He gets in there with this wet naps. I say, this is the Anderson Cooper Pooper wet naps. I say, you take it right in there, and you got to see, he doesn't make a servant to it. Most gay guys I'm with who are very, very rich, like I tell you what, David Geffen makes his assistant to it. And Calvin Klein is a Mexican guy who cleans out his ass. It's like a car wash, complete with Mexicans. He gets in there and scrapes and scrapes. Then cut out the David Geffen part. He scrapes.
That's a CK2.
CK2. Yeah, you know CK1. This is a CK2. And we're queer as a CK3. Dan is so offended he's secretly. I know why you're offended.
You're not pitching an Elton John biography, are you, ladies and gents?
It's over. The Elton John, I love it. The Bernard Taupin. But he gets right in there, like a gutter snipe, like a chimney sweep. He gets in there and in there and in there till his asshole's as white as his mother's face. He goes like Vanderbilt even. Yeah. I'm not an Anders. I set the guidelines right away because I'm Schwinn. I grew up with money. I inherited it like that. And I said to him, I laid the guidelines. I said, listen, I'm not an Anderson Cooper pooper sweeper. I'm not an Anderson Cooper pooper sweeper. I'm an Anderson Cooper pooper stooper. And God made us gay. We know that, of course. So why didn't he add an extra thing to fuck on, like the side of your neck or something? There's different cars have different gas inputs. You're telling me the Ford company's smarter than God? This is what I talk about on my new internet show. It's called Trend Talks About Gay Issues. The issue we talk now is, why is there an extra asshole to fuck someone? An extra orifice on a man that we can fuck. An option other than the place the shit come out. Oh, I love it. If I get enough of a MDHA and the Molly, I will clean out his ass. If I'm high enough. I'll also tell his ass about my new project. I get very chatty on the Anderson MDHA. He gets the good shit. Well, goodbye. Enough. I'm done. Look at how uncomfortable Dan is. He's so uncomfortable, like he has a secret. When I do the gay jokes, Dan looks like he has a secret. What is the secret, Dan?
I have no secret.
Good. Tell us out loud. Look at how uncomfortable he is. You want me to stop with the gay jokes? I'll stop.
No, I'm not uncomfortable.
You look very uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Okay. I'll keep it down. I think the audience is getting bored now. As a producer, you need better instincts. Okay, listen. This is goodbye from the Schwen Show. Until next time, I'm Schwen, otherwise known as the Anderson Cooper Pooper Stooper. Goodbye. Are those Brussels Griffons? Who let the Brussels Griffons out? Who let the Brussels Griffons out? Who? The gay version. That does not flow off the tongue like dogs. Who let the Brussels Griffons out? Who? We went off on a tangent. CK2 was beautiful. That was worth your trip here. CK2. That's what I need. People around me, sniper, you throw it in there. Anderson Cooper. Look at him. Are you all right now?
Brussels Griffons are kind of
They
creepy looking.
Well, listen, he's got 5 of them. Right? 5?
See, I used to be...
2 died of full-blown AIDS.
Oh.
I told Dan, use a condom.
I think they're cool, but as a kid, remember the first Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yes.
Remember like the last scene in the movie?
It's been a long time. I don't know, like the Godfather.
The Donald Sutherland one.
Right.
I think there's
no other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the last scene, there's a Brussels with like the face of a man on it. And I was a kid.
A Brussels Filato.
It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, listen, that scared me. I'm scared right now, just the description.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
I like them now. They're cool.
How about after Poltergeist? Did you not throw out every clown in your house?
Yeah.
I haven't had a clown in my house as a doll since Poltergeist.
It's not a bad idea. Keep clowns out.
Do you have clowns there?
No. No clones.
You're looking for a connection.
Look how mad he is. Are you going to call the gay community? Are you going to make a complaint?
Am I going to what?
You seem offended by the gay.
I'm not. Why do you keep on saying that? I'm not.
Because you seem offended. Look, you put your ass is up. Put your ass up like that. Is that the gay call? Call it our gays. He lifts the one cheek. Why are you sitting like that? Look what you're doing.
Huh?
Why are you sitting like that?
This is the way I normally sit.
Dan, you got your hand on the side like this.
I want to give you eye contact. So
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why?
Because you told me to.
I did not. Yeah. Oh, don't put those words in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, compared to what you could put in my mouth, that's fine. If I have the option between words and something else, I'll take words. When did I say make eye contact with me?
The other day.
What? That's bullshit.
Yeah, you did.
What bullshit?
Okay.
What bullshit?
I don't.
For what reason?
If you and I are alone here, you got to make sure that I'm paying attention to you.
What?
So that's why I don't look at my computer anymore.
Listen to what you're saying out loud.
Yes.
You guys want me to leave?
You just said if we're alone here, I want to make sure you're paying attention to me.
Yes. That I'm not on my computer.
Oh, you mean on the show?
Yes.
No, that doesn't mean eye contact, Dan. You can be on the computer. You don't get any of the notes. Look at how offended he is. This is really human emotion. Why? This is very uncomfortable. Man, do you want to leave? Because I do. Do you mind if I leave? I mean, listen, let's cut out the Anderson Cooper Pooper story. Let's cut it out. I mean, because you seem very offended by it.
What does he keep on saying that?
Do you want me? Because your eye contact is telling me
No,
that.
I'm not offended by that.
Your eye contact is like this, like you're ready to, like you look like a horse in a stable, like you're ready to fucking, get burned and run away.
I'm not.
Why was your hand on the back of the chair?
I sit like this all the
Yeah, but
time.
your hand was like right here.
So he's saying no, but his body's saying yes.
Well, yeah, you're giving off signals. And I don't misread signs like that. You keep asking for it, you'll get it.
Just ask R. Kelly.
Exactly.
What happens?
R. Kelly got it. 17 women who were 13 got it. Ooh. Did you ever see the videotape of R. Kelly? He's making love to that one woman. He's eating her ass, and he keeps, like, wiping it and smacking it.
Oh.
God, he knows how to make love to a broad. It might not have been R. Kelly. It would say it was, it could have been Commissioner Kelly. Could have been Gene Kelly. Singing in the rain.
That's amazing.
What were we supposed to talk about? Oh, no. No, so my lovely sister, who Dan clearly was faking caring about, is back home, and she landed, and I love her so much. I realize how much I love her, and I really did. I was very worried about her. I called her at 4 a.m., and I barely got down a third slice of pizza. And I called her with my mouth full. Are you all right over there? Now, she was a 6-hour difference. She had just got to Amsterdam, and she shopped for 2 hours in Amsterdam because that's her job. My successful younger sister, who I look up to. And that's it. So she's home safe. So there's an announcement. There you go. Dan doesn't care, but maybe Twitter. And thank you. And also, a couple of plugs. Anthony, thanks for coming in, brother. We want officially in the announcement, we tweeted about it. Anthony and I are going to write our third book together. You know what I feel like? I remember they showed, I'll never forget this, and I hated his guts, but it was touching. After it looked like there was no way the Bengals could come back, and the Niners were going to win their third Super Bowl in a row with Bill Walsh and Montana. I remember watching it at my friend Shecky's house, and I lost $80 on it, which I had $2 to my name. It was a typical story. And I remember my girlfriend was trimming her goatee, and I was take her home to her father's a barber who spoke broken English. And a year before we robbed the bank. Now, I remember looking at them, and Joe Montana and Bill Walsh shook hands, like they smiled and looked at the camera, and very calmly, Pat Summerall went, 3 in a row. No, wait, 3 rings together. That's what he said. And Anthony and I going for our third ring together.
Yep.
We got 2 rings, 2 bestsellers, and I'll tell you what, the first one's impressive because of this. There's other guys who have, first of all, you're on the biggest radio show ever. I'm not delusional again. It helps. But but number one, even Howard said to me, he goes, I know you'd be on the list, obviously, but number one, and I gave Howard the compliment back that he wrote an amazing forward. That helped. And everyone knew he'd be number one because of the Stern Show. But, everyone knew he'd be on the list because of Stern. But number one was special. You could tell. And Howard even said, he goes, that's surprising. That's great, man. It's... And I credit Anthony's work and our tireless promotion. And I'll never forget where I was when I found that out. I was fucking Anderson Cooper. I wish.
Mit Sven.
No, I was watching the Cubs win the World Series. That's wrong. We're at Ridgewood.
He's such hatred for me.
Bookends in Ridgewood. Great store where they ask you to do a signing. And our good friend Julie Grau came over to me.
The best.
Yeah, right, Julie, I love. And she said, great news, Art. We're number one. Finding out tomorrow. I'm signing books. And I hugged my mother. It was very, very, my mother finally was proud of me. 7 years in show business, bought her a house, car. Now she's proud. Yeah, a little too late. No. We were all proud, And, of course, the fact that Anthony and I wrote a #1 bestseller meant that, of course, we couldn't write a second book together. Yeah, long story.
Yeah. Yeah. We should
read between the lines, people. Grow up.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, go. Listen, no, of course I know you sold all those books and a paperback. #1 on the list, amazing. But let's make a change. We're going to change Anthony, and you are. Can someone else tell your stories?
It was a fluke.
Can Aziz Ansari tell your stories? He gets a book deal. Telling stories about going to brunch with Nick Kroll. Why are we even bothering? Dan loves that book. Nothing's threatening about it. I think he has a Brussels Griffon, by the way, Who? Aziz Ansari. It's an erotic. He does. I'm not kidding. Why are you upset about that? He's a successful guy. You have 5. I mean, he only got 1. 2 died, though.
3 died.
Oh,
3 died? What happened to the 3rd one? You gave another one AIDS?
Did they die prematurely?
No. Well, no. How old do they go to usually? Are they live? Because I know bulldogs are only 10 years. And Howard's bulldog, the most catered bulldog in the world. I did love that dog, though. Their first one died. It was only 8. I did 10 years. How long is a Brussels Griffon?
I think 10 to 12.
That's young for dogs. I mean, dogs are 15 now.
Yeah.
Right?
Isn't it the smaller they are, the longer?
The longer they live.
Yeah.
Well, you had a big fat one.
So, like Chihuahuas, you can have that a while.
Well, also, Dan
Right?
said that very smart, too, the dogs. Dan gave an example where a dog stepped on its friend to get over a fence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Would you call that dog Einstein?
So he frog hopped his butt.
And killed him.
Did he kill him?
No.
I bet that's how it happened. Dan's covering up.
No.
This is like his Watergate. You gutter snipe. You know that dog was killed by a Cuban in Florida. Tell it, Henry. Get down on your knees and pray. You don't want to pray? Jew boy. Stace, I love you. And Anthony and I are writing a 3rd book, and proud to work with him. I love you, Anthony.
I love you too, man.
He's going to come back, and we'll talk more. He'll be back on the show. We're going to have him come back on and talk some music. And do a couple of bits here and there, and we'll be writing the book, so he'll be over here, and Dan can help. There'll be Dan stories in this book. There's going to be a Dan Filato heavy book, by the way.
Is it?
Well,
I can't wait.
We'll crowbar shit in. No, right there. I mean, do you want to be in the book or no?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was happy to be in the second one.
Well,
Yeah, man.
You were in the second one?
Yeah.
Paris.
Paris.
I tried to get that out.
Did he? You'll tell me after.
No, you had to be in it. You had because you bitched him out. I threw you in front of a car. Wow.
Just a car.
Nice. Nice.
Gendarme. Sir, you are in the Jaguar. It's me. I'm in the Henderson Cooper Pooper Stooper. I'm on the looper. But no, it's no. I'm telling you, I thought about Anthony coming in today. I was thinking, what an accomplishment. I'm proud. Me and Ant have the book of my life is interesting and has many facets and many fuck ups. But this is a successful relationship. Dan and I mean, Dan and I have a successful one too. Not as successful as Anthony and I, but. Most of the people I collaborate with, there's a lot of tears and disappointments and wasted money. But 2 bestsellers. The second book was special. I wanted to mention this, too, because we weren't on Howard. I was on Howard for 3 years. No promoting it on Howard. And it debuted number 12, not even 25 or number 12. So.
And don't forget that, the original publisher, wouldn't do it. Turned around, got a book deal in a week.
A day.
Put it out,
One day.
And put it out, with... No, really not a lot of lead up.
Yeah.
It was just kind of boom, here it is.
Well, they said, again, there was an interesting time. The new place we went to was not a tiny place. It was Simon & Schuster, an arm of Simon & Schuster, which was Touchstone, which is Disney. Look it the fuck up. This is no small place. This isn't some gray man lurking around some giant cartel. That's from an Odd Couple episode. Tony Randall plays a lawyer. Long story. Google it. And I said to my lawyer, I said to my agent, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. How many drafts are we handing the fuck in? How many nuances do we need for Miss Kite Runner? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, well, listen, dude, you're my agent, so I'm starting to get that hankering to call a fucking a lawyer I have about a lawsuit because you're sitting on this fucking book. You know it's good. You don't want it out. You don't want you're being petty. I said that in my sleep. I wish I was at home. I got mad. I was down at my mansion shore house. Dad was walking around with yellow feet or something. And I said, listen, you don't come here and fuck with Artie Lang. I said, dude, shop the book around. He was being petty. He didn't want Anthony to succeed. Me to succeed. What are you doing? You're a kid. There's a conflict of interest here. I'm not mentioning anything.
He'd already gotten paid.
Yeah, he got paid, all right.
He didn't care.
Gutter snipe.
Yeah.
But I love him. This is all allegedly.
Confirmed.
All allegedly.
Fictionally.
And so I said, you know what? He goes, it's going to be hard, this late date, the book, the business, the fall. This is July. It was in stores November 1st. You understand? There wasn't even a title page. I hadn't written the bullshit fucking dedication. I hadn't written those bullshit things. Two of those people aren't in my life anymore. Very, very, very nice. Dan's hoping the third book will be. I won the lotto when I met Dan Falato.
Well, it is going to be about gambling.
I won the exactly. I won the Life's Lotto when I met Dan Falato at his store that sold gelato. Johan Falato. Can I dedicate it to Johan Falato? How do you spell Johan? I want to dedicate it to the Brussels Griffon who died, the fat one. I identify with it. What'd you call that one?
Tippy.
Oh,
well, there's Tippy and there's Beulah.
Stop it, Dan. Stop it.
Tippy and Beulah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No one thinks that's gay in your life. I'm the first one to point it
They
out.
weren't my dogs. I married into the dogs.
You put a big smile on your face. And you said, Tippy. You know what, man? Here's how a man answered that question. Ask me what was the name of the Brussels Griffon, the fat one?
What was the name of the Brussels?
Fuck you, faggot! That's how a heterosexual answers that question. You, instead, went Tippy. Tippy. Was that because the tip of your dick would only fit in?
Oh, God.
And then she became AIDSy. Dan, why are you upset? This is not true. If this was true, it would be very, very rude of me. If you really fucked your dog, gave it AIDS, me bringing it up right now would be so fucking rude. But it's a joke. I would tell the black kids, sure, I said I fucked your mother, but that's not true. Who am I, Delonte West? So she said too Tippy. And the other one, when the other one died, is what, Beulah?
Beulah hasn't died yet.
Well, what, the ACT is good, the doggy ACT? Johan! I thought you said it died. Why'd you bring up Beulah? I said who died? You said Tippy and Beulah.
No, you said what are the bigger ones' names?
Oh, the bigger one. I don't care if they're... Jesus, Dan. Yeah, I told you check the racism at the door when we moved in together, and you're not doing it. By the way, I have a black cell phone I call it a sickle cell phone. Do you like that?
That's awesome.
Let's see how that goes over at the Comedy Cellar. What, Dan? Sickle cell phone, by the way. You young kids were trying to be funny in St. Louis. You could take them. That and the History Channel, the history joke with the... Wait, come on. Dude, if you're 17 years old trying to impress a chick and you do that, you insult the waitress like that, like it's not so insulting. She might giggle at it. You're fucking that chick. Funny is power. Dan, your thoughts?
Funny as power.
Now, who's the other one who died? What's the name of the other Brussels Griffon that died?
Mimi.
Mimi, Beulah.
No,
Tippy.
Beulah's still alive.
Okay. Tippy and Mimi.
Are there any with a heterosexual name?
I didn't name them.
Dudes?
I married
Who
into the
named
dogs.
Are these all girls? Are they all females?
No, Tippy was a boy.
Okay.
How do you know that?
Wait, I'm sorry. Beulah. Well, I'm sorry. No.
No. Well, I mean,
Tippy
Beulah
and Beulah
was a boy.
were. I'm sorry.
Tippy was a boy.
Tippy could
There
be a
was
guy.
Walter. Tippy.
Walter's the boy. Is Walter not the boy?
Yeah, Walter's the boy.
Well, I know. Okay.
He's a sensible one.
Walter.
He's one with one input.
Martin. Beulah, Tippy.
How do you know the boy? There's only one place to put the Tippy. Dan, you're upset because I'm saying you're fucking your dogs. No one thinks that's true.
Patience of a saint, Dan Filato.
Yeah, well, listen.
Johan.
I love the Johan.
Dan, you haven't called me Dominic today.
Is that your middle name?
Remember when Dan thought my name was Dominic?
Oh, that's right. I just let him think it.
I get people on Twitter all the time. They're like, Dominic, what's up? And I'm
Why
like,
did you think that?
Because you told me it
Oh,
was.
that's right. I was goofing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's like what I
You
told
told me.
I never knew that. I
told,
thought it was you just
I
thought
just-
it
And
was
especially when you were doing the book, you kept on sending the chapters to you guys were going back and
Yeah.
forth with the chapters, and I felt so bad. I kept on calling you Dominic.
Yeah, his name is Tippy.
I liked it.
Next writer's Tippy. Dominic. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, you know what I did? This reminds me of I think I might have told Dan this. My buddy Shecky Mike Lord, he would get ossified drunk and try to hit on a chick. And one time he thought I knew a girl. Yeah, and I kind of knew her. I knew her real name. But he's looking at her. He's drunk, like heel-toe drunk, like on his tippy toes. And he goes, Art, what's her name? And I go, Cratabargo Petula. And her name was Julia. I just said, whose name is Petula? He was
What
drunk.
is that,
He was drunk, Petula Clark. I said, Petula. I went to school with a black chick named Petula Brown. Nice ass. And, okay, he's drunk for an hour. Petula. Hey, Petula. After 20 times, Art, you're a dick. I said, Dominic, I'm sorry, Dan. That was out of line. Okay, two Tippy or two Walter? Walter's dad, the one guy. Of course, probably had a heart attack from all the stress, all those broads.
No shit.
Walter's like, shut up,
Was
Tippy.
he the only dude?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shut up, Tippy.
I don't care if she ate your lunch.
Even with Stacy Lang's dogs, you could see that Vinny just the broads drive him crazy.
Really?
Like, oh my God.
Which one's Vinny the Brown one, right?
Yeah.
She has Vinny. I don't remember what she's got.
She's got Vinny. She's got
Tippy.
Lucia and
Tippy 2.
Lucia's fucked up. Lucia shakes.
Oh, no.
Because my sister Say was saved dog.
yeah.
And I think the ex-owners like burned her with cigarettes or something. Really, she shakes a lot. I light a cigarette purposely in front of her, and she goes nuts. And if it's a menthol, really bad.
Oh, man.
If it's a menthol and I have a Michael Vick jersey on,
Oh. Killing it.
she
Art.
goes going. Not Danny, who of course never abused her. Would you get them drunk first? Some doggy Cavassier. It's me and Walter. Tippy. Tippy. Me and Tippy. All right, let's clean this up. So thanks, Dan.
Thank you page you dropped. So you
My what page?
here you go. The plugs.
I memorize them. I don't need a thank you page.
Pluggity
I'm
plugs.
Donald Trump. I work without. Okay. May 6th. Dennis Miller was on 2 days ago. And so fucking funny, man. And he had some plugs that, of course, Dan, as the producer, forgot to give me. May 6th, Friday, Bergen and Cap. That's a joke, by the way. He's nothing if not a great producer. Absolutely. He's not in the closet about that one. He's out as being a great producer.
As being a great producer.
Yes. I'll say,
fantastic.
You know, he's as good as it gets. Under constant fire. Right?
Thank you.
No, you're right. I mean, dude, I can't dispute that. That arm hair.
I thought
thought you were
I was
getting
almost
one
out.
clean
I was almost
comment.
out.
You
You
I-
ever
you're
get cum in
getting a
that from
comment.
you ever when you jerk off, do you ever get cum in that arm hair? It must take so long. It's like if you jerk, it's a decision. It's a risk because if you're jerking off and you're going out that day,
I was almost out.
like a shirt sleeve at a game, and you get cum in that arm hair. You have to go, guys. I can't make it tonight. Why? Because I need boiling water from the gas station. Dan doesn't wear short sleeve shirts. I've never seen him. We were at a Yankee game, 110 degree weather, 110 degree August New York weather. The Bronx, so hot, so fucking hot. Dan's got a fleece on. He looks like Admiral Byrd's assistant when they found the South Pole. And I'm like, Dan, loosen up a little. And he's like, that's fine. And then I see his, down the shore, I see his yellow feet. And then the hair, like every once in a while, he never lets me see him shirtless. He's always in the bathroom. And he comes out fully dressed. You hear the shower going, he comes out like a tux on. His version of a tux, which is what you see right there. Very European. And he wears his pants way up high, like an old man. And way up high. I mean, his pants are way high. Higher than Snoop.
Bob Levy came early. The floor was. He started pounding on the door.
Your ass?
He started pounding on the door. He came 15 minutes early.
Right.
I jumped out of the shower. The floor was all wet,
Budweiser.
and I didn't want to get my pants all wet, so I pulled them way up.
You were wet? What? No, Dan. You admitted to me that you always put your pants up.
I do not.
Yes, you did.
No, I do not.
You said after that, we had the conversation, you said my pants were up real high, and they were extraordinarily high. It was disconcerting. And, like, you know, and you
And I said, you know.
you put your pants up, like, and you were all happy because no one was around. And you walked out because you were alone, like, well, you know, the fucking Oompa Loompas when they're alone. And you're like, oh, this is so much fun. Whoa! Just stretching the old Levi's out, just it's fine. Leave like, leave me like, well, you got pants real high. Well, is that a gay thing, the pants high? Because it's a gay thing, right?
Oh my God.
Is that what you? Because the cum gets on the floor, you don't want to.
Oh God!
I'll stop. You know what? It's the Robitussin toy. It's the hand cream. What happened?
You're pulling the cord.
I'm pulling your cord.
Well, this started with a
You're
compliment.
pulling
Take that.
No, it is. It's amazing. I just saw the arm hair. I feel bad for him. It's almost like you have eczema or something. And I'm just saying, if you're jerking off and you get, or like if you know a guy happens to be jerking off, and if it's a fireman, you could use his axe. You said like no, if cum gets now look at how it's like the Sherwood Forest. You're like, guys, I've got to get. I can't come tonight. I've got to go to the gas station.
And I am the least hairiest of my
Look at him.
cousins.
Okay.
My cousin Bobby and Vince are They look like a fur sweater.
Whoa,
it's a pelt.
disgusting.
It's like a.
Is that like a Filato curse?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is. Well, you're all nice people, though.
Which side of the family?
Dad's. My dad's.
Yeah, no,
my
dude,
dad's
Italian. His
Yeah.
father's real
I was gonna
Italian.
say.
Yeah.
I know the drill.
Yeah, it's very disconcerting. But I think my diabetes or something, or some combination of all the chemicals in my body. I'm hairless. I lost all my hair, except on my head. Like, look at look at that. Nothing on my calves. Look at that.
They ran fleeing.
That's unbelievable.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
No hair.
That's crazy.
And that's why I feel like, you know, the thing I love Dan. I don't mind living with him, but since I'm hairless, if there's like a short black hair in an omelet or something,
You know
There
exactly
is
where it came
never
from.
a short black hair in an omelet.
oh god,
Ever.
gross. It could be from your arm. It could be one of your arm hairs that had the cum on it. Dennis Miller will be at the Bergen Performing Arts Center. And
We'll be talking about my arm hair.
in Englewood, New Jersey, by the way, where I taped an HBO special, 10 minutes, blistering, funny 10 minutes. 2007-ish for the great Jim Norton. Yeah. He had an HBO.
What was the review that you told me early this morning that was in the paper?
Me and Norm, 1998, true story. 1998, we're outside of Seattle doing a gig. They sent us on tour. MGM did to promote Dirty Work. All expenses paid, top-notch thing. 1990, summer 98. It came out June the 12th, so we were there all through May on the road, St. Louis, Atlanta. First-class tickets, Ritz-Carltons, Four Seasons. Amazing. That's why I was in Atlanta the night Sinatra died. In May of 98, I was at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta. We went and I found out Sinatra died. My sister was on the streets of Hoboken. They're playing Sinatra in the streets, people crying, people laughing, hugging, and I'm in Atlanta. Whatever. Sold out show. Great town, Atlanta. Clan meeting, everything. And so we go and get a Seattle. Some of the places reviewed it. They sent it was like a prestigious little theater there. About 2,000 people. We sold it out. South Park was premiering on Comedy Central. So the South Park trailer played after our sets to try to drum up interest in South Park. No one knew what it was. So the trailer for Dirty Work played, full long trailer, which got a lot of laughs, and then the South Park trailer. And I did about 30 minutes. Norm did like an hour and a half. Sometimes Norm would do 2 hours. God bless that guy. Never picked up the mic. Holding his chest like he's having a heart attack, he would kill for 2 hours. And we got reviewed. Outside of Seattle, we got reviewed. Here's what the review was. Okay. I guess there wasn't a lot of space. Mr. Lang made me nauseous. Mr. McDonald made me throw up.
Wow. I would frame that one. That's amazing.
We should have. We both thought it was so fucking funny. But I mean, neither one of us could be that excited about anything. The night before we both lost $80,000 on the Bulls. Lightning bets at a Ritz-Carlton, ordering room service. We'll get to that in a second. What did I do? I made every bad choice you could make if you get some success. Every bad choice. So yeah, how great is that, Mr. Langman? Mr. McDonald, let me throw up.
That's amazing.
Mr. Mix and Blix. Of course, June 18th. Bill O'Reilly and Dennis Miller. B.O. and DM. The Who Wants to Be President tour. Mohegan Sun Arena. I played that too on Cairnsville, Connecticut. And I mean, listen, Dennis Miller is as good as it gets. Bill O'Reilly seems very entertaining. That's got to be a good show. Who Wants to Be President? A take on the exorbitant amount of candidates, I believe. But I'm above average intelligence. So check that out. We'll be tweeting these. Paul Morrissey. Paul has a website.com. Very clever. Jim Florentine. Meet the Creeps. You heard Meet the Creeps, and everybody.
Very funny.
So
was
funny.
Out of control.
Yeah, so funny. It's been done in 2002, and I forgot how funny it was. I'm very proud of that. Of course, it got me nowhere. But Jim Florentine is as funny as they come, man. So he still sells Meet the Creeps. We bought it.
Yes.
We bought it tonight.
$9.99.
What website? Jim Florentine? What is it?
It was
Google
YouTube.
Google Meet the Creeps.
Meet the
YouTube,
Creeps.
and you can buy it. And go see Jim Florentine.
Buy it through YouTube.
Support Jimmy Florentine. He's as funny as it gets. Thanks to Paul for being here. And again, second book. We're starting as soon as we get done.
Third.
Third book. We're starting as soon.
Tonight.